Hello, everybody. Welcome back. I am your host, Mike Brown. I am joined by the illustrious Paul Basha. What's good,
Hey
my
guys, how you doing?
guy? And we also have Hale. What's good, my guy?
Hold on. Sorry, I had to get that out. How you
Of
doing?
course. There's Hale.
Professionalism level 12. No, I'm just-
At its peak. But, how you guys been?
doing all right. Pretty good.
I mean, indigestion, but I'm okay.
If you have, I was 2 seconds away from singing the Pepto-Bismol song, but nah. I gotta pay me. 2 seconds away.
I think we might get a DMCA strike for that.
Yeah, no, I was gonna do it for a second. I was like, right there. I was like, upset stomach, and I'm like, nah, we're gonna stop. We're gonna stop right here. They've been really weird with a lot of DMCA stuff, anyway. Recently,
I don't know if they can DMCA commercial tune, but it wouldn't surprise me at this point.
It would not surprise me if someone was like, nah, take them down. They mentioned it. Get it out of here.
I hope to God that one day where DMCA strikes, you just mention a product and like we need to pay you to announce it, or you pay us. Like,
Yeah, just because we like talked about a brand or something, right? But yeah,
it's like that's bullshit.
that'd be wild.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be on such a level that it's like we're already in a dystopia, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, but that's on such a level that it's just like, damn, wow, how did we let it get here? Like, why
True.
would we allow this? But besides that, all right. If you guys have been all right and chilling, then what you guys been messing with? What you guys been playing?
Pele, you go
watching?
first.
I have been playing through Resident Evil 4 Remake quite a bit.
Yes.
Enjoying it quite a bit as well. I played the original one, beat it all the way through professional difficulty. I've beaten all of Leon stuff, mission and mercenaries mode, and got all S ranked. I did not finish the rest because I did not want to put myself through that bullshit. But now I'm going to put myself through different bullshit in Resident Evil 4 Remake. I'm playing it on hardcore mode. I am loving it. Also getting my ass kicked in some parts. I remember it wasn't this hard back then, but it's also been years since I played Resident Evil 4 for it. The remake, well grafted, characterization a lot more. It's a lot darker in terms of atmosphere. Some humor. Leon still has some like the dumb humor that he used to have in the original version.
Yeah.
Gameplay wise, still feels tight, feels straight. Parrying is really fun. Ducking, I'm still getting used to because that was a thing in the original Resident Evil 4. It was a thing in RE3 remake, but you also could dodge. This one you can't really dodge. Unless you
Yeah,
prompt it.
despite there being like a mechanic to do so, it's not very good. Like, it's not really there. It doesn't feel.
No.
Does it feel like tacked on, or does it feel just a little off?
It's a little off because unless it's prompted to, you can't evade unless you physically move your character out of the way, like good old RE.
It's kind of weird because it's like it's there in the systems. You can do like a little dodge. You can see it. It's kind of a little finicky, I guess.
Okay.
I think that's like they're trying. I think that's trying to just like have players more focus on the prayer mechanic, which it can be useful, but again, it's still a prompt. You just gotta be quick on the draw with it.
Well, the parry mechanic isn't just a prompt, but the
No. Like if it's a melee attack, yes, but if they just lunge at you and shit like that, you can't do shit.
Yeah, it's a little weird. Though they can't, from what I understand, they cannot grab you while crouched. So actually ducking, from what I understand.
Yeah,
So ducking actually helps you.
Yeah, that I did see for it. But besides that, like it's pretty much like the levels are almost like set the same as what I used to see in Resident Evil 4 remake. It was really cool. Just debating myself back in the day. Some puzzles I was able to solve pretty quickly.
Nice.
With it. So some bullshit mechanics. For example, one of the boss fights we had is the structure is built a little bit bullshitly, where the enemies can combo you from attacks, but the environment is still damaged you, so you can pretty much combo you to death in one stroke based off of that alone. Like, that's a little annoying. Like, it shouldn't have been that case that easy, like, especially you get thrown back by the attacks.
It's the Mendez fight. I don't think it's like spoilers to say anything.
I mean, it's a remake of RE4. There are
so it's like there's no real spoilers.
The game is over 20 years old at this point. There's no spoilers.
Quick
it's
question.
Exactly the same stuff in the original game.
In the original,
Almost.
was there the double giant fight as well?
Yes, that one's still in the
Okay,
game.
I thought so. I saw the footage. I was like, I can't remember it.
Same
I
layout,
already fought
same
the normal
giants.
giant fight,
Yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. It's same layout, same giants. One's armored this time. That's about it. You can still use the pit and everything.
I'll say this though, Pele. The only thing we won't mention are changes from the old game to the new game.
You know, I'm just talking about like general mechanics.
But yeah,
except
general
for
mechanics
Ava.
and bosses.
Yeah,
you know,
She looks
Ada-
talk
remarkable.
about them.
Ada looks great. They changed her voice
Ada.
actor from
She
RE2
does look
remake,
really good.
which I thought
Not
was
even
a
on some
little
queer,
weird.
creepy shit. That almost sounded. I almost said quirky, and I went to say creepy, and it came out queer. I'm sorry. No, wait. Not even on some queer shit works, because queer could be used in this context as different. There we go. There you go. That's
Well,
using
the word
your,
literally means like weird
thesaurus,
or
yeah.
different. Yeah.
That's, yeah.
Damn.
Like,
You gotta see what I'm
queer,
saying?
yeah.
Nowadays, you got to be careful with everything. Anyways, go ahead. Yeah.
But no, I won't talk about any like major spoilers or like significant changes from the game itself. Just mechanic changes for it, pretty much. Cache is still fun. Guns are still pretty cool. This one, Merchant's still quirky. He sounds more Irish than I remember, or Scottish, one of the two, than I remember in the original game. But hey, he's still entertaining. He's still worthwhile having him around. Still pops up in the same location I remember before. Like, but still go, how the fuck did you get here?
You're like, how did you do this? That doesn't make any sense.
I was watching Skill Up's review on the game, and he said that the guy, whoever does the voice acting for the merchant, like stole the whole show.
Oh yeah, he does a great job. I think the only thing that's changed. I think Ada's voice actor is the only thing that I've heard complaints about.
Yeah, she sounds completely different. She's a different voice actress from RE2 remake, so the voice is completely different. I think it's because this is just my guess. The original actress who played RE2 remake Ada was white, so they wanted to go with a full Asian actress for this one.
Oh no! I think I actually found out the reason for that one, Pele.
Oh, okay.
What it is that there's an actress that plays her in like I think one of the cartoons or not cartoons, but like she's a live action actress for Ada specifically.
Oh, okay.
And when they saw that, they was like, well, let's just get the actress that played Ada.
Gotcha. Okay.
And he was like, but she's she's not nearly. Not trying to dunk at anybody, but she's not nearly as good as the original
voice acting.
Because, because voice acting and model acting is not exactly the same.
It's very different.
Yeah.
But they just made the assumption. Yeah, they just was like, oh yeah, we have an actor or actress that can literally play the character because she plays the character in real life.
I know. Yeah. But that's the thing in the industry with especially the video game industry. This usually ends up being 2 or 3 people that can make a composite character. One for the voice, one for the model, one for the face model, and one for mocap. That usually ends up being the case a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you can get like a really good like model actor that can mocap, then you'd be like, all right, 2 in 1, let's go. Or vice versa, right? Like if the voice actor can do it.
Yeah, the voice actor. Well, that's why I say usually 2 or 3. Sometimes it's the voice actors who also do the mocap, but not the model. But it ends up usually being the case with 3 because I think one of the biggest examples of that was in Mass Effect, where it's the voice was an actor for the voice, one model actor for the face, and one for the body. Well, they didn't do mocap in Mass Effect because everything was stiff. But I think in Andromeda was motion capture.
But they did have, wasn't there like a was it a Swedish model? That was the
It was a Swedish model for
male
the male. Yeah, for male chef. I don't know who they used for female chef.
Yeah, me neither. I honestly just don't know.
Granted, though, they did change the model down the road between, so I think they end up using 2 people. So
That's fair.
because FemShep 1 and 2 do not look the same as FemShep 3.
Yeah, no, she looks actually like way better in 3 than she does in the other 2 for some reason. I mean, it's better. It's just one of those things where it's like she always looked kind of weird. I don't know how to describe it. In the other 2 games, she always looked a little off, and I was like, I don't know what that's about.
It could be that, like, you said that they modeled Shepard after a Swedish model?
Yeah, the male one, yeah.
It could be they modeled him, and then, like, with her, they didn't actually model. They were just like, make an attractive girl, but you're working with that tech of the day, so you're not really going off of anything.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That could have been. That most probably could have been it, but it's just interesting for it, which is ironic because I know, like, since I think at the time statistically most gamers were male, so they assumed they were going to pick male Shep for it. So that's why they kept with actual model face for Shepard, and he was the face of the box for a long time. But then they realized, like, a lot of people are leaning towards Fem Shep because the voice actor's delivery is just better.
Jennifer Hale is, like, really good at voice acting, so...
Yep.
Yeah, I love classic Shepard, but that man is, like, so deadpan. Like, when he's flirting with... I think it was with Tali or somebody, he's like, yeah, you're going to get over there, aren't you? And it's like, I don't like this, man.
Yeah. Mark Mir, we love you. We're just, we have opinions as well.
We'd love to have you on the show, man.
Also, yeah, that's true. But, like, I think the fun part about, since we're on the Mass Effect for a little bit, about, like, the acting situation with that, is that the two of them took very different nuances with it. FemShep has, like, a more coherent, like, feeling, if that makes any sense. So, like, when you play FemShep, you genuinely feel like you're making decisions within the realm of this character. Whereas, like, so, like, Paragon FemShep and Renegade FemShep still all feel like branches off the same person, but they just don't go as far. You know what I mean? Whereas Male Shep has the problem of like wildly different personalities because of the readings. So it's like when you choose your own thing as Male Shep, you go from psychopath to like superhero kind of deal.
You'd be like, no, I don't think we should, and then you'll punch Rex in the face and be like, stand down, damn it. And it's like, my God,
like, jeez.
You must understand, sir.
The best way I could possibly describe it is like playing Male Shep, you should probably just choose one or the other. Like very binary. Whereas,
the thing
like,
is that I still
like
went with like full Male Shep in my playthrough, and I still felt some inconsistencies there, though.
Oh no, Male Shep is the main one that has inconsistencies. Fem Shep has a bit more of a closer range to it, so you might still get inconsistencies just because of writing things, right? But it's like her performance overall feels like it's still within the realm of the same person, right? So it's like when she does a renegade choice, you're like, she would do that. Like, she would do it. It's fair.
Did she have more voice acting experience than what's his name?
Mark Mir. Yes, she does. Jennifer Hale is an industry veteran. She's been voicing significant characters for years. She was.
Remember who she is? Let me look her up.
She was you played Metal Gear Solid. Red haired chick. I think Meryl. Yeah, she's Meryl.
She played Meryl. Okay.
Yep, she played Meryl. She was one of the test twins from BioShock Infinite. She's currently the voice of Cinderella from Disney. Let's see, what else did she play in?
She's now the voice of Bayonetta.
She's now the voice of Bayonetta after the whole debacle.
What happened with the other actors?
Technically, it's I could spoil Bayonetta 3 a little bit. They were going for a multiversal thing, and so the deal is that technically you're not playing the same Bayonetta from the other two games. So they wanted to do a voice thing, but they wanted her to be a cameo in it. And then Jennifer Hale just went through a whole debacle of like, oh, they were gonna underpay me and all this other crap, and it was dumb.
Again, not Jennifer Hale.
My bad. I said it wrong.
Oh, okay.
I can't remember what her name is now, but the other lady.
Yeah. I'll look it up later, but she.
They spat fire at Jennifer Hale though because of the idea of her coming in and like, quote unquote, they assume that she's the reason she like pretty much came in, took the voice acting role for the idea that she like could take it for less, but the answer was just they wanted to go with someone different for this game, and because technically speaking, for Bayonetta 3, you're playing as the little
Helena
baby
Taylor.
Cereza. Yeah, Helena Taylor is her name. That's the original voice actress for Bayonetta.
Okay. This girl
you're playing
did the
as
voice
little
of Black
baby
Cat.
Cereza though.
She was the voice of Black Cat in the original 1990s Spider-Man. She was also voiced. Yeah. She voiced in Codename Case of Sword number 86. She has a really good like Irish accent. She was the voice of Zatanna in Justice League Unlimited, Emerald Empress, Poison Ivy, Batman Brave the Bold.
A lot of stuff. Wow.
She's been Jean Grey in the X-Men.
Yeah, and the Guinness Book of World Records, she is the most prolific female voice actress.
Is he actually the most? Because like the one that comes to mind is Terrace Marsh.
According to the Guinness Book of World Records, because I think, yeah, that's her. She was Rivet in Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, which was really cool.
She's Kimiko in Shaolin Showdown.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to like go through her stuff and see if I recognize any of this, but I don't really.
She's Miss Keen from the Powerpuff Girls. She's Sonya Blade from the 1995. Yep.
Oh yeah, duh. She's Sam.
She was Sam. Okay.
Sam is Aaron.
Zatanna from Justice League Unlimited.
Can we talk about real quick how Totally Spies was the show that taught us, I might want that,
For Star Wars fans, she's Basila Shawn from Star Wars National Republic.
Yeah, she's quite a few people in Star Wars, actually. I was looking through it.
Mm-hmm.
But no, man. Not even on some like weird shit. Totally Spy was a rad show. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Black Canary, Justice League Soldiers, Commander Shepard, we mostly know her from that. She was Phoenix in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Fate of Two Worlds.
Gigantic.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Totally Spy, can that count as an anime because of the animation style?
Technically, no.
No, because it's not from Japan.
Yeah, it's Canadian, if I'm not mistaken.
Because technically, Avatar: The Last Airbender is not an anime because it's made in America.
It's the same thing with It's the same thing with Code Lyoko. It's also native. It's native to.
That was like
Canada.
French,
in
Canadian.
France. Yeah.
France.
French
was it French? French Canadian or France? I think it was France. Yeah.
I think it was France, because they had like Korean animators who used it, but the style originally
France.
She's Lady Vermin from Spider-Man Unlimited. That's crazy! What a deep cut.
Oh yeah, she's Ash from Overwatch. Forgot about that detail.
I still don't recognize like most of this stuff, but
she's Sonya Blade.
Sonya Blade, yeah. She's, prolific as a voice actor.
She's Miss Bellum.
She's Miss Bellum, yeah.
Well, that's actually kind of sick. I didn't even know that. I just genuinely didn't know.
Bro, she was additional voices in Syndicate. I know who this is.
I actually didn't know this was a thing. She's Sumungasaur. Which is apparently a female version.
Oh yeah, she's Silver Sable from Ultimate Spider-Man, Amani.
Wait, from which one?
Ultimate Spider-Man.
She was Katrina in Knack.
That's fair.
That's a big role.
Silver Sable. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I was gonna hate her if she was the one from from PS4 Spider-Man. That one got on my nerves. Like, not even the voice actress, but like the character in that one got on my nerves. I was like, yo, why is she such a problem?
She was Kimiko and Shaolin Show. Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's been around.
I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was reading everything else that she was in.
She was also Mandy from.
Actually, no, you said Kimiko, and I didn't recognize the name.
Mandy from Totally Spies. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Let's see here. Oh, she's Avatar Kyoshi from Legend of Korra. That's dope.
I love how I know what the name of this episode is going to be. Jennifer Hale Appreciation Month.
Oh, damn. She's Carol Danvers from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, like Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes. That's a fun one.
One of the few times we'll ever appreciate Captain Marvel as a character.
Martha Kent from Reign of Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
In short, we love you, Jennifer Hale, if you're listening.
She's in Blood of Zeus.
Yep.
She's the mom. Okay. She's Miss McCannon from Camp Lazlo. I actually don't know who that character is. I think Camp Lazlo. I just don't know.
I think that was the female camp counselor from the opposite camp.
That's what I'm assuming, but like I genuinely don't remember.
It's been a while since I watched Camp Lazlo.
Like I don't remember if that's the one that like Skullmaster Lumpus had a crush on, or like the big one. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't. And I can't remember what the big one was called.
Yeah.
Like,
and for Halo fans, she's Sarah Palmer.
Oh, did I? Actually didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool, actually. She's, you know what? Pretty prolific.
She's been in a lot of stuff.
She's in a lot of stuff.
She's very prolific. That's why I love her. That's why I was also confused when she got replaced for Bayonetta for over a pay dispute. Like, she's more prolific and has more to her name. She would technically be more expensive than Helena Taylor.
Yeah, nah. That was just the deal. if I remember correctly, because we covered the whole thing originally, but if I remember correctly, the deal was just that they wanted to go in a different direction with Bayonetta.
No, I get that, but when I saw the arguments like, Hale Taylor would go for a cheaper cut. She's more talented and more sought after. She would not get a cheaper cut.
They also gave what's her name, Helena Taylor, like they were gonna give
much
her
more,
way more than what she was supposed to be getting for some of those like cameos and stuff like that. I was looking at it being like, oh, they want you to show up and do like 5 lines, 5 lines total.
A lot of 5 lines total for this paycheck. Yeah, no, because this paycheck would be like for literally entire sessions worth, and that's for like months on period. You're just saying 5 fucking lines. You consider yourself lucky for this, comparatively.
What a bad turn down. What a mistake. And then she tried to create a controversy, which made it even worse. I'm like, wow.
Oh, well, luckily the game was great, so.
The game was the game. The game was a game.
Not great according to Monty here.
Actually, the game played
write
well.
It down. I'll make sure I have it.
But the game story was a game. Decisions made in that was
confusing.
Confusing is not it.
Abrupt.
Yeah, the abrupt is also on point. It's on brand. Well, best way I can describe this is we will see how this turns out, because Bayonetta, as a series, has a tendency to retroactively make things better.
Not to mention that Hideki Kamiya, is an insane person, so he'll go whatever he chooses to feel with the story.
Well, yeah, but he saw the reaction and was like, don't worry, we're going to make another one. We have to.
Like, this is a cliffhanger. Don't pull another... What's another big franchise left on a cliffhanger like this?
Beyond Good and Evil is one.
Too Human.
Yeah.
Too Human is another one that comes to mind.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. No.
I think there's definitely a lot.
There's quite a few. I know that. I just can't remember off the top of my head. I would have said Infamous or Prototype, but not quite.
No, Infamous comes to a proper ending in all 3. Mm-hmm. Though it's just one of those things where you just kind of want another Infamous game. It's nice to have another one. It would be nice, but Infamous comes to a proper close in like each of its installments. I guess the first one being the only one that has like, you kind of need a sequel.
Clover Studios, Beautiful Joe, because that series does end on a cliffhanger.
Wait, part 2 ends on a cliffhanger?
Yep, there's another big bad.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks. Well, actually, I can't yell at Platinum.
Clover,
Clover doesn't exist.
Anymore,
but like Platinum has to get it. I mean, Astral Chain hasn't ended, so I can't say it ends on a cliffhanger. It still exists. Like they can make another game. Nothing stops.
Yeah, but Beautiful Joe hasn't had a new game in like over 2 decades.
Well, it had Beautiful 1, 2. It had Red Hot Rumble. It had the other.
That was it, and the show. That was it.
And the show. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it had the side games, too. Like, none of them...
But they never... they've never finished the story. They never finished it.
Huh.
Because Red Hot Rumble followed more so from the story of the show, but that was its own thing. It wasn't a continuation of the rest of the 2 mainline entries.
It had 2 Red Hot Rumbles, if I'm not mistaken, right? Like, it did the...
I thought it was only the one, because it was the DS title. Yeah.
I don't know. Beautiful was fire, though. They need to bring that... Well,
Capcom
would have to bring that back.
We've been complaining Capcom bring back franchises for fucking years, and they don't listen.
And Okami 2 would be nice, but that game's big, so whatever. I'm kind of good on Okami.
You're still waiting to this day for Legends 3 and Power Stone 2.
You know what? Fair enough. I don't know how I didn't mention Legends. But I guess the reason why we didn't mention Legends is because we know.
We're never getting Legends 3. You know this.
Don't say that. Don't never say never.
I mean, I
almost did it once.
I know, I accepted it when we weren't getting Half-Life 3, man.
Look, man, Half-Life 3 I expected because Valve doesn't know how to count past it. They've done it with every game.
Mm-hmm.
They genuinely don't.
Okay, if you're gonna go talk about
Alex leaves off on a cliffhanger, yeah.
It does live on a cliffhanger. It does.
You literally play as Gordon Freeman for what, like 30 seconds, and then it's over, and you're like, well.
Okay, I'm gonna say this: Half-Life Alex has some gall.
Yeah,
It
I
ends
mean,
on a
it could
cliffhanger
be.
with the last entry and on a cliffhanger.
It could be they're gonna do like an actual like not like Half-Life Alyx where it's like it's a good sized game, but it's a VR game. They're usually shorter. It could be they're planning a full size VR game, and it's
And that's what I'm
Half-Life 3.
assuming. We'll probably get like, I think it'll probably just be Alex 2.
Yeah,
That'd be cool.
Gaben
Because
is gonna
that's
make
how
us
I feel
wait
about
until
it.
the technology catches up.
But genuinely, as far as I'm concerned, like, because I thought Alex had a complete story, right? It's like it's an own enclosed thing in the Half-Life universe. The fact that you said, yeah, it ends on the cliffhanger, I'm like, the gall! You don't want to
Well, Amani, do you want me to spoil it for you a little bit?
I mean, we won't spoil it for those that are that will play it, because Half-Life Alyx is, I mean, like, it's a couple years old, right? But it's still relatively something that not everyone's
It's
got their
relatively
hands on.
new, but it's also on a platform that's not really accessible either.
It's true, so that's why I'm going to say let's not. Because, like, maybe somebody's just like, once I get enough money, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the thing, and I'll play it, right? And it's one of those so, franchises that you kind of don't want to spoil.
For the thing that I said in the end, it's not really a huge spoiler. It's like a teaser for the fans. So yeah, you guys still can play the game and enjoy the story, but that is what happens at the very, very end.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because like that's gonna be a cool moment for them. They'll get to it, or whatever.
And it is a gall because the previous entry, Half-Life 2 Episode 2, ends on a cliffhanger. It's the newest game, the first new entry in the Half-Life universe for almost 20 years. Also ends on a fucking cliffhanger.
On a cliffhanger. I'm like, that's the gall. That's just disrespectful, honestly. I didn't know it did that. I really didn't. That's ridiculous. I think the sad part about Legends 3 is that we almost had it. It was a demo.
Yep. But, yeah.
They didn't bother to finish it. Because
No.
the moment KJ and Afune left, they said, fuck everything involving this character that this man... Actually, not even just the character. Anything this man touched. Fuck it.
Which is almost the entire Mega Man franchise.
Yeah, and then KJ went on to fail tremendously and give false hope elsewhere. And now he's working on an NFT game. Which is just like, oh, how you have fallen.
Nah, I know what his theme song is. It's, what's it, Imagine by Lupe Fiasco, where it's like, run it back, I wouldn't change a fucking thing if I had a second. I can't remember how the song goes, but I know it says I wouldn't change a damn thing. And that's like, yeah.
Poor KJ and Afune. Well, at least he didn't go the route of I almost called him Nobunaga.
Yuji Naka.
Yes, Yuji Naka. Insider trading. He can't stop.
Wait, what?
Yeah, Yuji Naka got arrested for insider trading. I think twice, actually.
Yes, he just can't stop. He can't stop doing it. That, and he made Balan Wonderland. So, like, yeah.
Wonderworld.
Wait, is it Balan
Gotcha.
Wonderworld or Balan Wonderland?
You have a copy, check for yourself.
Don't no.
You don't get
Either
to do
way,
that, Pele.
No. Refuse to play that game.
You don't have to play it, but you can still check.
I'm also not gonna look at it. It's sitting in a corner somewhere. I don't even know what to do with it. I feel like I should sell it, but like to who? Why would I curse somebody with that game? I just have to give it to some. I'm just gonna leave it in somebody's house.
I mean,
That's what
you
I'm
could
gonna
probably mail it to who he should not be named.
Nah, what I'm gonna do is I'm
No, the other he should not be named. You live next door to him.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just gonna hang out with somebody one day and then just leave it there, and we'll never know who. Just leave it there, and then when they find it, they go like, how? We're just gonna pass it along like that. That's how it's
Just
gonna
pass it along.
Is it just not a good game, I'm guessing?
It's
not a
so
good game.
bad. It's so bad.
It's fundamentally bad.
Genuinely, I've never seen a game so fundamentally broken. Like, it's one thing for the game to be falling apart. It's another thing for the game to just have glaring, like, you cannot complete this. And people go like, it's fine.
Excuse me. My bad.
Like, there's just parts where you could just lock yourself out of progress and be like, well...
I need to watch that video from Matt McMuscles explaining what the fuck happened with Balan Wonderworld.
You know,
because
I'm
just curious.
did, and I need to go back and look at that again.
I want to know what the fuck went down. Like, what the hell? Seriously, like it's a debacle. Like, what process and production and caused this like weird abomination of a game?
It's also weird because like, isn't the deal like the team that's actually on it surprisingly like one that you would want on a game like this? But somehow it's like because it's like the dude from Knights, for instance, is on this game.
Yeah.
Oh no, wait. Paul, I think we were talking about this the other day. Wasn't
What's
like
up?
everyone in like the wrong positions for that game?
What game?
Battle Underworld, right? I think we were talking about how like literally everyone that you see in on the credits are doing like the wrong thing.
Let me
Wrong
see.
jobs and everything like that.
Wonderland. Were we talking about this? 'Cause I don't
think we were
remember talking about this
the
with
other
you.
day. And it's just like
You said Balan Wonderworld, right? This
Yeah,
weird
Wonderworld,
looking.
Yep. Yep.
where it's like I think the director is not like the writer is on it, but like he's a better director or producer or something like that. Maybe it was someone else. I don't know.
I was gonna
But,
say
like,
it
Oh
wasn't
yeah,
me.
no,
I
because
didn't
no,
talk about
no,
this with
Yuji
you.
Naka, he was a producer for it, but I think he also helped wrote it.
yeah, which was like part of the problem because it's like yeah, he's a good producer. He's not
Helped
a good
write it.
writer.
Yep.
If you're gonna diss this man's writing, at least get your English right. No, that was mean.
Or auteur, whatever.
Oh
like,
god. Yeah.
I wouldn't. Okay, here's the thing. Like some producers I know have like try to push themselves to be like more into their work they produce, which is fine. They have that choice, but it's like a ridiculous request. And I am talking about John Peters here, who for years wanted to have a movie with giant robot spiders in it.
He
He
really
got his
did.
fucking he got his wish with fucking Wild Wild West, and
He kept
Mhm.
yelling at people to
Yeah,
put it in, and
put it
everyone
in.
was like,
yeah,
"No."
and one of those projects that he was trying to push in for the longest time was back in the 90s when Sandman, the current Netflix TV show, was being made into a movie. Like, you need to have giant spiders in it. And Neil Gaiman says, why? No, you have to put it in. I don't want to. You have to put it in. No, fuck off.
Yeah, they tried that with Superman too.
Yeah,
I think
that
that's
was,
wasn't it
I
that
heard
same
about
guy that said like Superman, when he takes off the cape, he can't fly, and they just like flat out ignored him.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
no,
about
that's
that.
stupid.
Mm-hmm.
When he takes off the cape, he can't fly. That's dumb.
Producers have an important role, but I don't think writing should be one of them.
Yeah, if you want a movie that was written by the producers for the producers, Gods of Egypt.
Yep.
Kind of a bad
That-
movie to start with, anyway.
That movie is like.
There's huge
I haven't
parts of that
seen
movie
it. The
that's
CGI I
fundamentally weird.
like. Don't get me wrong. The art style looks great, but yeah, it's.
But everything else is like, ugh.
I've seen clips. Yeah,
The
it's not
casting's
a.
a little weird too.
What are you talking about? Don't you know anybody can be anybody as long as there's makeup? No. I'm just- hey, listen. The only slide I give to it, that at all ever in history, is Gandhi. Ben Kingsley. Love that movie.
Oh yeah.
All right?
Mhm.
Because he did such a good job. He wasn't appropriating. However, a bunch of white dudes going around as ISIS and shit. It just like
Yeah, you
know,
have
it's-
fucking Jamie Lannister, fucking Kingslayer himself plays Horus, was it?
I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, you had Gerard Butler played, was it Anubis or Set? I forget exactly. And then you
can't
have
remember.
and then you have the kid. Well, Emily, have you seen the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
No, but I couldn't tell you. It's not one of
Okay.
those things. Yeah, I'll be honest. It's not one of those franchises I care about very much.
Oh no, that's fine. I'm just trying to find an actor. I can't remember exactly what else he was in. He was in Oculus. Did you guys see Oculus?
No.
No. Okay, I can't think of too much else. But the main character of Gods of Egypt, he kind of plays like a weird Aladdin role in the film. Like, I'm confused. What?
I can look him up.
Yeah, look him up. Yeah, just look him up. I forget his name.
Because you said he's the main character, so it's like who's the
He's
main
the main
actor?
character. Yeah, Gods of Egypt. You'll see what I mean. I can't remember like any other movie he was in off the top of my head. I liked him in Oculus fine enough. Pirates of the Caribbean, he plays the Will and Elizabeth's son, which was, a thing. They just try to push the franchise past its point. Honestly, at that point, can't remember what else he was in though.
You remember what his character name was?
No, that movie I blanked Gods of Egypt out of my head so fucking fast
Because
after watching
there's
it.
Set, there's Beck.
Beck, main character. So just like look up the Wikipedia. It should be the first character you see, the main cast.
Oh, fair enough. Let me see.
He's the main character next
I have no idea how to say that name.
Oh, no. If you're thinking of the long one, that's Jamie Lannister's actor.
Nicholas Coster-Waldau or something.
Yeah. Mhm. That's not him. It's the other guy.
Oh,
Let me
Brenton.
look this up. Taking Amani an hour and a half to find this. Brenton Thwaites.
Yeah,
That's it.
Brenton
I
Thwaites.
think so, yeah.
I literally just said Brenton.
I know, but we're searching.
Brennan
I
Thwaites,
found
yeah.
him immediately. You said the next guy, and I'm like, that's the next guy.
He was in
I know.
Gods of Egypt.
I hear what you're
Pirates
saying.
Oh, he's Dick Grayson in Titans. That's right.
Oh, that's who he. Oh.
That's right. That's one thing I gotta remember.
Oh man, that's what a.
Do y'all not like him as an actor?
Yeah, he
No, that's
he just has great choices in Hollywood, I guess.
He's a young kid whose agent has led him astray, and he's just trying to make it. Come on.
The
Now.
great
I
choices.
mean, that's fair.
How
It's
old
just
is he?
unfortunate. 33.
So put it this way: in the 6 years it took for us to shit on him up to this point, he is in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Great choices.
He
though.
can turn around his career.
Oh
Come
no,
on.
I'm sure he can. I blame the writers and the projects he's involved in because it's
Chadwick
hasn't been great
Boseman was
for him.
Thoth.
Yeah. There's a lot
cool.
of great people in Gods of Egypt. It's just a shame that film exists.
Yeah, this is a strange. Like if you look at the pictures, like it looks like it could be a fire movie. You know, like it,
And then you actually watch
it
the
really
film. And you
does.
wanna
I remember seeing the trailers. I was like, this looks fucking dope, man.
Yeah.
God,
And
I
then you
didn't
actually watch the
realize
film and
he
you want
just-
to blow your brains out.
It,
I
like,
mean, I
if-
guess he works.
Dude,
as
When was this
Nightwing.
movie released?
Imagine this in the right hands, though. Like this art style, all this Egyptian, like the look they went for everything. It looks phenomenal, and then it just.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, man. It's like the art direction is perfect. Okay, Chadwick Boseman looks stupid.
Oh, you have Elodie Young. So you remember Elektra from Daredevil?
Yeah.
She's in this too. Like,
Bro,
no,
I'm not
she
gonna
is-
lie. I'm
yeah.
just stuck on the fact that I keep looking at him as Nightwing, and I'm like, really?
Yep.
Like, I don't know what to describe, but he just doesn't look like Nightwing.
Okay, so Paul, here's gonna be an interesting thing. The director of this film, Gods of Egypt, did The Crow, Dark City, I, Robot, and Knowing.
iRobot's like the only good one out of all of them, from what I
Wait,
know.
the guy
Crow's
who
also-
directed it did those?
Yeah, he did those. Yeah,
So he's had good movies, I think. Wait,
Yeah,
let me-
it's just
what are his other
apparently-
movies?
yeah.
My bad, I was-
Spirit. You're good.
Except the Crow was one.
The Crow, Dark City, Garage Days, iRobot, Knowing Gods of Egypt was his last big
I
budget
heard
film.
Dark City was good. Never seen it. I know
Dark
The
City
Crow
is
is
good.
heralded as a good movie. iRobot.
It's the only.
love it.
It's the only good one. iRobot.
Knowing that's Keanu Reeves, right?
No,
that's
that's
Nick
Nick
Cage.
Cage. Nick Cage. Yeah.
No,
Oh,
I think
that's-
iRobot's pretty good.
That one's I heard was but
I actually seen Garage Days. Garage Days I like as a fun little thing, but it's not really great. If that makes sense.
iRobot's considered a 7. Yeah, technically, The Crow is the best rated movie he has.
Mhm.
And it's like
Dark
a 7.
City
It's
is-
like a 7.5.
Yeah, Dark City's second best. It's just a shame that the last film he officially did was by far his worst.
I was
And
gonna say he's apparently picked up with like 4 different shorts now that are. Do you have any extra armor? No, bro, I don't. Sorry,
He's-
RuneScape.
He's kind of technically a B tier director. Everything he has is like a 7,
Mhm.
like around a 7. Like we said,
Rather-
Dark City is 7.6. That's like the highest one because
Mhm.
the Crow is 7.5.
he's a B tier director who has some pretty nice gems under his belt. It's just unfortunate the last one was a massive turd.
Oh yeah, no, it was yeah, no, Gods of Egypt was trash. I think he was probably going for something cool, but it did not work out.
Oh, I'm hoping he was going something, or he was contractually obligated to do something like this, and it did
And that's
not
really
work.
the last one. Like he has not bothered to make another film since 2016.
Well, the thing is that when you do something like this out of obligation because of some contract you do with a studio, if it fails spectacularly under your belt, you kind of end up being listed. You kind of end up being blacklisted, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's just a really poor result because, like, he probably, I'm hoping anyway, he didn't have any real sought after choice in doing this. And, well, I don't think it's fully ruined his career, but we're not probably not going to see a directorial film from him for a while.
Yeah. I mean, he could come back after the shorts.
He plays Beck. I'm just looking at the casting thing. Brendan, it's Beck. It's the actor for Beck.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually the name.
Beck, yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, he looks so weird as Nightwing. Like, I keep looking at him. I was laughing at it because it's like, not only am I looking at him and remembering that cringe-tastic trailer that was like, fuck Batman.
Fuck Batman.
But like, I'm just seeing him. I'm like, this is really the actor you chose for him. I don't know. It just doesn't fit Nightwing very well. Like, if you look at just a portrait of him, you could be like, yeah, sure, right? Like, you could see it. Like, he's got the handsome enough face for it. But like, once you see him in the suit and everything, and you put the mask on, it's like, nah, this is not it. Take it back. This was not it.
Well, it was successful enough to do for 4 fucking seasons.
Yes, because people like trash sometimes. We know this. DC fans have literally been eating garbage for the last how long?
You don't like Titans?
Titans is already bad. But on top of that, The Flash is bad. We knew that The Flash was bad.
We were referring to a lot of CW stuff.
It was like, Arrow at most is like decent. But it fell off, and then it came back. Apparently,
was it the League of
Legends
Legends of Tomorrow.
Garbage, right?
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Black Lightning was decent. I'll say Black Lightning was like alright, right?
Supergirl started off decent, kind of fell off.
It fell off. Yeah, it fell off. Yeah. What was the other one? There was another one that they had. I've had it. Superman and Lois is good. I've heard good things about Superman.
Superman was good. Yep, that's fine.
Did you already say Arrow?
Yeah, no, Arrow was like decent.
What was the Legends of Tomorrow? Was that any good?
That was a collaboration of
No, I'm not. I don't care about the conversation. I'm sorry, buddy.
Some heroes and villains from both the Flash and Arrow.
But how is there 24 players online and they're all right here training on this shit? I hate these people. Sorry, all right, I'm back on the conversation. We're good. Don't start with me. It was because I was preoccupied for a second.
But Legends of Tomorrow just had like a bunch of heroes and villains and characters from both Arrow and Flash that got mixed match into like this time traveling hero defending one. But it was so poorly written in a lot of aspects. Like,
isn't that weird? Because isn't the main villain a really good villain? It's Vandal Savage. The main villain is Vandal Savage.
Vandal Savage, but
what a good villain!
No, they killed him off twice because they killed him off in Arrow somehow, and they killed him off again in Legends of Tomorrow.
I mean, it's Randall Savage.
I think the third time because they keep bringing villains back because I forget how many times Reverse Flash has died in the Flash. And
don't get me started on the Flash. The Flash is garbage. We know this. We know that the Flash is garbage. They know that the Flash is garbage because like.
Oh hey, no money. Want to hear a fun fact recently about the Flash? Latest speedster. You want to know the latest speedster villain?
Who?
Red Death.
Oh, I did know about this. This is stupid. It's beyond stupid. Oh man, it's so stupid. Spoilers for the Flash, but you know it's Batwoman.
Really?
Yeah, it's Batwoman.
Yeah,
that's dumb.
That's who it is. Well, I mean,
Red
Death in the comics is Batman. They just decided to make it Batwoman because they don't have
Speaking of which, I think that's probably the worst CW show, the Batwoman.
I loved watching Gotham, or what was the one about young Bruce Wayne?
Gotham
was another one.
Gotham was god awful, and like I remember the end when he's Batman, and you see like the stupid version of both the Penguin and the Joker, who I would shoot in the head, and I could rob from them. They're not menacing at all. They're just foolish, but. No, like they just look up and see a dude hop over like a building and they freak out and they're like, we'll rob tomorrow. And it's like, you can't even see from up there. That's 900 foot in the air. And then they look and they see Batman and it's a teenager in a leather bound BDSM suit wearing a cape. And it's like, shut the fuck up. It's so stupid.
Gotham's concept, I think, initially was supposed to be something realistic with like some proto aspects of villains existing for Jim Jordan handle, but then they just devolve right into the mythos of Batman and just bring in the villains straight up before Bruce becomes Batman.
We talked about this
really
ad nauseum to an extent, but like
it was ridiculous.
Yeah, Gotham is one of those things where it's like you had a good idea, you did not execute it well at all, but you had a really good idea initially.
I remember when it dropped, I thought it was like part of the Arkham series, you know?
Mm-hmm. There's another show that we're forgetting that's under this.
Gotham Knights.
That it's not that, and we don't have to talk about that. We already know that that's garbage.
All right,
That was
so
garbage
DC
from the jump.
TV shows.
Trash.
Legends of Tomorrow. We've already done
Flash,
that.
Arrow, Black
did-
Lightning, Supergirl.
Titans,
Titans,
Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's good. Peacemaker's really good.
Peacemaker's
Sandman's
good.
good too.
Which one?
The what?
Sandman.
Oh, Sandman. Sandman's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I haven't
Sandman's
finished
good.
it, but I liked it.
That's
I've heard good things
not
about
as connected
Sandman.
to the DC as much, comparatively, because nothing DC related is really.
I make an
on it.
exception for Sandman. I ain't watching Lucifer.
Lucifer's
I
good.
mean,
Lucifer's
I
really
like
You
good.
can watch it for me, then enjoy it.
It's fun.
Naomi, is that good?
Naomi.
I
Oh, no, I
don't
don't know
know.
which
I know the
one's
first
which.
I didn't hear good things about the first episode, but I didn't hear anything afterwards. So I guess that kind of tells you as much.
Doom
as you
Patrol
know.
is decent. I heard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the one that I forgot about. Doom Patrol is good. I've heard good things
Mm-hmm.
about Doom Patrol, which is I wanted to give its props. Doom Patrol apparently was pretty up there, but like we're talking like 70, maybe like 70, probably more than 75, right?
I enjoyed Constantine when it came out. I'm sad I didn't get another season.
Yeah, I heard Constantine was good. Yeah, we're talking
That
about
was fun.
70% of like
Yeah.
DC shows are like trash.
Garbage,
75%
yeah.
of like,
Krypton.
DC shows are trash.
Krypton,
Krypton
yeah.
I don't even. Did that come out? I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Came out and it got
it was on
canceled.
Sci-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't know
It
if
came
it was
out and
good
got
or
canceled.
not, but-
Reviews are apparently pretty decent.
I didn't
Why are
even-
the good ones getting canceled early, motherfuckers? What the fuck?
Oh,
Swamp Thing
Powerless
got
only
canceled.
got one season. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Pennyworth is still going. Forget about that. Young Justice got canceled 3 times. Was it?
Constantine.
Young
I know
Justice
the
doesn't
guy
count. That's a
does like
cartoon.
voice
And
acting for
it's-
Constantine now.
It's
I think.
everyone knows Young Justice is fire. They just keep
What the
canceling it.
What the fuck is DMZ?
DMZ?
Yeah, that's apparently it's a DC show. DMZ limited series. I don't know.
I don't know.
Civil War
It
breaks
might
out
not be
American
out
that
yet.
had
New
becomes a
American Civil
demilitarized zone.
War. Oh, it's from a. I think it's from a DC Black Label or something or
Oh,
DC
Right,
they
right,
Vertigo
said they wanted to
novel.
start doing that.
Graphic
Yeah.
novel.
Yeah, they're not DC related in terms of the comics, but like under the DC flag. Gotcha. The original 1990s.
There's
Harley
an
Quinn's
Aquaman
going
show
well.
from 2006.
Yeah, that's an old one.
God,
Yeah,
that
no.
looks bad, bro.
Everyone knows that the animated side of DC, fire, right? So Young Justice, all the Justice League movies, Harley Quinn. There's like
Dude.
no bad stuff going on the animated
There was a
side.
Birds of Prey show from the guys who did Smallville.
Yeah. From the 19 that one never got off the ground, which
2002,
was a shame.
2003.
Yeah.
Static
That
Shock.
probably could have been really fun. Considering it's by
Yeah.
the same people that did Smallville, I could see it being kind of fun.
Yeah.
I heard Smallville was good.
Smallville was
Yeah,
decent. It was pretty good.
Yep. Yeah. But what was I gonna say? Like,
It ran into the Gotham problem where like they started
it introduced-
pretty much
yeah.
setting up the Justice League before Superman
Starting
ever
to
put
just
on his
lay a lot
cape.
of villains from other people's rosters. For example, they introduced Bart Allen, not Barry or Wally or Jay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it started doing some weird things where it was just like, he might as well put on the
I don't know
cape
about
at this
this one,
point.
yeah.
But it
Oh no,
was
they
fine.
even had their own version of Doomsday. It was like this early, seriously?
He was like before he even became
Become Superman?
But I mean, they did cool things though. I think we can all agree that Smallville kind of left on a good impression. Everybody was like, yeah, you know what? I'm cool with that. The idea of Superman's adventures before he actually decides, I'm going to do it. Like, I'm actually
Yo.
going to just be the hero.
So the off topic, I had clicked on something. There's apparently a thing called I Am Batman, and it's like Jace Fox is in New York and he's Batman. So I guess it's like a new version of That sounds so freaking cool, man.
It is, it actually is interesting. Not my favorite version of Batman, though.
Is New York in DC's? Like I thought that was
Yeah.
Metropolis.
No, New York is, no, Metropolis is more like California.
Oh, okay.
and Gotham is
Gotham
Jersey.
is more like Chicago and
Is it
like,
Jersey or Chicago? It
It's
depends.
Chicago.
It's
bro.
immense. It's they changed it up so many fucking times. It's a little
Either
scary.
way, I'd never seen I Am Batman. That looks cool. I'm gonna have
But
to
yeah,
check that
the
out.
idea was, and the reason why, because this is a fun fact, the reason why New York exists in the DC timeline is because when Batman first started off, he was in New York, and then they changed it to Gotham City. But like
Gotcha.
his first adventures take place in New York, and it's like, oh, okay, so New York exists, which is kind of the deal of what's happening with Jace, where
New
he's
York,
like,
New
he's-
York
he's
exists.
the
Rats.
New York
No,
Batman. Which is, I'm still kind of divided on him. Yeah, he's like the Black Batman, but it's like such a weird pick.
Oh, is he black?
Yeah, he's black.
He's Jace Fox. You said his name.
Oh, wait. So that was the signal, right?
No.
No. That's Duke.
It's been a minute. I'm sorry.
That's Duke Thomas.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't nobody flag me for what I just said. God.
No, what it is he also has another son that's Batwing. Mm-hmm. Right. So that's probably
okay. All right. I know who it is now.
Yeah, but it's his older brother. You just went with you just thought about Duke because Duke is probably the newest. He's the newest.
No, it's I have I have the comic where he's introduced, and he also talks to. I think Batman talks to Jace Fox in that. I'm just remembering it too.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I like Signal. I need Signal to come back in any form, really. I just didn't really like the idea of picking Jace
as Batman.
Yeah, because it was just kind of like, all right, so you have like, I don't know why I'm blanking on the actual name of the person that is Batwing,
Mufasa.
But it's Lucius. No, it's Lucius Fox's son. Pele,
I thought it was just Luke.
Is it just Luke? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I thought it was just Luke.
I don't know why they didn't pick Luke Fox specifically. They didn't pick Duke, and the idea was obviously
Luke,
that they
Duke,
wanted
Fox.
they wanted a black Batman. That was kind of the whole point. So it was just like, we're choosing his brother. Why? I don't know. But we're choosing him. I'm like, okay.
Are you gonna justify this? Eventually.
It was like, you could have went with Damian or like literally anybody really at the time.
Like a actual son of Batman would have been cool.
Yeah, like
Duke Thomas would have been
literally
cool.
anybody. Like that's the thing. Duke Thomas was set up as his partner, so it's like the idea of like, hey, Batman went down. Duke is like, all right, I'll just switch shifts. I'll go to night shift real quick. Right?
I mean, they could have also done like a reformed version of Azrael, since he's also black.
Yeah, but like Azrael's weird because it really just depends on the version of Azrael we're talking about. I'm not even gonna front.
But the one that's reformed, was the officer.
Yeah, Azrael's so weird because there's also like St. Paul. But yeah, nah, you're right. We could have gone with that version of Azrael.
I mean, if that was their goal of having,
But to be fair, you kind of already did it with Nightfall. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it's like, but like the idea is like you kind of want to, but it's just a weird choice. Like, it's just a strange choice. You had to make up a whole nother character to be him.
Yeah, because there wasn't much reason for Jace Fox to be Batman ahead of time. Like, just pick him. Like, it's like, why though? You haven't really given a reason why he's Batman.
Why he's the choice? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, okay, but I definitely would have agreed with more with like any of the other characters that already existed, but. It's fine. Like apparently he did well enough during his existence. People really like him as a character. Like people got used to Jace Fox as a Batman and liking his version of Batman. Because granted, his version of Batman is very much it's the same way as Batman right now because they did the same thing. But like he's a more grounded Batman, where it's like all he's got is the tech that's in the suit, and that's it. Right, like he's got like military training and stuff like that because he was a soldier, but like he's not super genius intellect. I can fight Darkseid, anything with prep time Batman, and so people are like, that's kind of fun, just seeing a street level Batman that's like more like, yeah, you know what, I punch bad guys in the face. That's what I do. I stop thugs. It's like I try to reform certain people if you can. So it's like does a bit better than normal Batman. Is that weird that like everyone else is kind of better at being Batman than Batman? A little bit. We're like,
I mean, isn't that usually the name of the game though?
With the exception of maybe Jason Todd.
Yeah, well, I mean, it was a clumsy attempt, but I get it with even Commissioner Gordon as Batman at one point. So.
Oh yeah, that's true. That did happen. That one's a weird one. Weird one.
Because it's Gordon. But instead of being Batman, like the whole suit and everything, no, he has a mech suit to be Batman. Like, okay.
I like the idea. I really did like the idea of like Batman working directly with the
GCPD. But I wasn't expecting Gordon to fully take up the role, though.
They also made him younger for that too. It's really weird.
I mean, it was shortly after the New 52 change up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then it's like reading it was a cool story, right? Like it was like one of those things where it's like this is really interesting.
Had some really cool villains out of it. Like my favorite new villain at the time was Mr. Bloom. I'm still upset they haven't used him.
They just have not used him again. Mr. Bloom was really cool, and it's like, yeah, you know what? Like Jim Gordon's time as Batman was an interesting one that we could look back and be like, that was a nice experiment. But there are definitely some parts where you're looking at it and go like, I don't know how they came up with this idea though.
It's like a little bit of opposite effect where, like back with Spider-Man when Doc Ock was Spider-Man for a brief time there. But like,
that's true. That is a weird one.
I have an
Great run
opinion.
of Spider-Man.
Yeah,
what
great
a
run.
weird
I have an
idea.
opinion. I actually like that version. Commissioner Gordon, I can't say I fully liked. I won't say it was bad. It was interesting. But that's pretty much all I can say. Would I prefer it? Not really.
Yeah, no. It's just, I guess it really just comes down to the fact that he was running around in like a mech suit half the time. And as cool as that is, it's like, you actually could have just made a whole new superhero.
You easily could have. No, since there's no real version of like an Iron Man thing in DC, do that.
With
that
the exception
cool.
of Batwing. Batwing's the only thing that's close, right?
Yeah.
But
Batwing wasn't introduced until after.
No, he was before, because they had...
He was before? Okay, I thought it was after for that one.
A lot of his stuff takes place in Batman Inc. is the deal.
Okay.
And then Batman Inc. disappeared along with a couple other things after a certain point. And then we got the Gordon stuff, which was really fun. But, like, yeah, honestly, like, just... They shut down that project in that storyline, but it's like, I don't know, it doesn't have to be Batman thing. Just give that man a mech to fight half the stuff. You see what's happening in Gotham? Just give him a mech.
Dude, I wish they continued, and we've talked about this ad nauseum, but it's Andre brought it up on the podcast, the Duke Thomas, where he's like got all the power rings or whatever, and he's in that armor. I want to see like just more of that. Just give me a big cosmic thing with that. That'd be so cool. It'd be more Marvel than DC, but it'd be cool as shit.
I mean, it'd be cool because in terms of like the Bat family stuff, it barely ever touches on cosmic.
I was gonna say they haven't done much cosmic stuff since Hal Jordan Green Lantern Corps ended, have they? Like they've done, I mean, like the Dark Knight's Metal stuff, but not like the strict out in space thing.
Yeah, no, because it's the Batman stuff. They have to make it more grounded, but almost nothing is ever.
Well, it was multiversal, but that's what I mean. Is like cosmic, like out in space, like Darkest Night, all that.
There's
because Batman
Doomsday Clock. Doomsday Clock was the other one that they did.
Yes, but that was the whole franchise versus. We're talking about like just Batman stuff alone, like in Gotham, but add some cosmic shit to it along with it. But again, the only thing I think I've seen that they did was when Batman got the Mobius chair, which was the only other thing, and that was undeserved too because he used it for a bullshit reason. He used it for a bullshit reason too.
Oh,
because
what is the reason? Because I might actually have the.
He used it to immediately find out who killed his parents.
Oh no! Okay, that's not what that was. It's that one's taken out of context in a lot of instances. The deal is in this case is that Batman already knows who both the Joker and who Joe Chill is, right? Like who killed his parents, but he tests the chair to see if it truly gives you like the knowledge it does. Right?
Well, no, because I remember one panel, he goes and confronts the full-on Joe Chill thing, pulls off his mask while in the chair.
Yeah, no, he just does that for some reason. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no idea why he does that. But like
that one throws me off. Like
that is a thing that like is explained as he was testing the chair to see like what it knew. The only thing it tells him that he didn't know was the three Joker thing.
Yep.
Right? The three Joker thing was the thing he goes like, okay, wait, that's kind of wild. I didn't know about that. But like the Joe Chill thing is just like it's like he asks it and like it answers back and he's like, all right, cool. Like this does tell you knowledge. Like but
then I'm just complaining like why did they do the panel why he revealed his face while in the Mobius shirt of Joe Chill? Like again, if you already knew this fact, why are you taking the time to do this again?
I don't know. I think he just does that every year to just do that.
Just to mess with Joe Chill. He pulls a Thanos. No, he pulls a Thanos. Every year he goes to this Joe Chill in the alleyway and just fucks with them. Like,
I genuinely think Batman's just a dick in that instance. That's not all I got. Instead, he's just like, because it's not like it may sound like I'm trying to come up with an excuse, but it's like I do actually remember going through that one and being like, no, he is testing it. But like, as far as why he pulls up to Joe Chill with the chair, no clue. Not a damn clue why he has to do that.
That's such a nonsensical panel. Like, why is this here? Why is this here?
He's like, he just did it just to do it, I guess. He was like, hey, what's good, fam? I'm in the chair now. I'm even more scarier. Remember that. This is so stupid. I mean, I like the idea of him, like, he always goes back to remember. Like, him going back to the alley that that time of the year is always fun, right? That's a cool part about him.
Even but he doesn't specifically torment Joe Chill.
Yeah, even the idea of him breaking into prison to show up to Joe Chill being like, "Remember, you killed my parents, fam," like, is fine, right? But it's the idea that he had to pull up with the Mobius chair just to flex on him a bit.
Like, I don't know what that thing is. It's a floating chair.
It just scares the shit out of him. He's like, he just teleported in here on a pink floating chair. What am I supposed to do with this? Like, Joe Chill is like your average, normal, like,
he's just a regular thug. He killed the Waynes, yes, but he's nothing special about him.
There's nothing special about him. At most, he just was like, look, man, I needed money. You guys came out at the wrong time, and then it just got poor. Like, it went down bad, right?
Motherfucker's not even a supervillain. Yes, he caused Bruce's origin story, but, like, he's not a supervillain at all.
For all we know, Joe Chill that could have been his first night trying to rob somebody. Like, and now he's forever tortured by Batman just showing up. Like, what's good, punk? What's really good?
I bet you regret it now, don't you?
Oh man, that's hilarious. That's gonna be so stupid. Okay. Let's go ahead.
But we'll finish off my week because we got way off topic.
We got way off topic.
Also playing Project Lazarus, another Survivor like game, which pretty much control a mech on it and still kill ways of enemies here. Different classes, different types of mechs. Some you have to drive using the right trigger. That's a twin stick shooter, so you use both controls on this one here. And also recent detail, there's another expansion coming out for Vampire Survivor, so like, I'm going back, boys.
Time to go back. So what was this one that you just said it was?
Yes, it's called Project Lazarus.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this one. I've actually heard of Project Lazarus.
Don't lie. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what, Paul?
I said, have you? Don't lie. Nah,
Project Lazarus or?
Tell Amani, whatever the fuck he said. I don't.
Yeah, Project. Oh, yeah. I've heard of it before because
I sent it to.
Let me make a bad
joke.
Yeah,
you sent it. Yeah, you sent it, and then on top of that, before you sent it, someone. That was another podcast I had listened to that like they were going through a bunch of these games at the same time. Like they was just like, I'm just going through a spurt of like looking for any Survivor game I can get my hands on. Like,
the fact that it's not just a franchise, not like a genre that sprouted from this, but recently in the BAFTAs, Vampire Survivor won Game of the Year.
Yes, that's all I need to say about that. As it deserves.
Good, man.
It's great. I love it. It's fucking great. And I can't wait for the next expansion for it. It's only going to be $1.99, so it's not going to be much. I'm going to love it.
It's true.
8 more characters, I think 4 more stages, and a bunch of load of abilities. Like, hell yeah. And
Soulstone just got one too, actually, as well. Because I know you picked up Soulstone Survivor as well.
Yeah. So and there was that one other Survivor game, the pirate ship one. I wanted to give that one a shot too whenever it comes out.
You did say you showed me that one. That one actually looked kind of fun. Tell me about it because it's nautical themed.
Nautical theme, yeah.
It's like nautical themed Vampire Survivors. Is that what you said?
Pretty much.
Yeah, you play as a pirate ship and you pretty much like survive through entire waves on a ship. There, like it looks really dope. I want to find the name of it again. Like, what was it called? Let's see, not Bleak. No, that's not the ancient one. Was it this one?
That actually sounds pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
That's why
I gotta look it up.
Tell me about it whenever you get the chance to get around to it, because I'm like, that one.
I'll find it one day, but like, it
you really showed us cool. That in the past on an episode of the podcast. I remember that. Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought it sounded familiar. Yeah.
Oh, you found it. You found it already.
They found it.
Paul.
Oh no! Right. I just said I can't remember the name, but I remember you talking about it. Sorry about that. I wasn't trying to build up your hope, boys.
Yeah, I was trying to remember the name. Like
I do be doing that a lot to people. No,
it's okay. Let's see. There's my wish list. I'll find it later during rest. But I think that has been my week for it. So Paul, go ahead, man.
All right. So I just leave now. Let's see. Malazan, 430 pages into book 8. I
just found it. Sorry.
Go ahead.
That's Sea of Survivor. Sea of Survivors.
Sea of Survivors.
Yeah. Sea of Survivors.
Sea of Survivors on Steam. Wish listed right now. It's
not to be mistaken
down.
With your white grandma's favorite show, Survivor, on CBS. But no, I'm sorry. What a group of trashy people, man. I've been watching that show a little bit. I'm like, yeah, there's a reason the villains win, bro.
What season are you on Survivor?
It's like the people that are like always good on there are like the most wholesome people. They get screwed over by these villains who go off and spend the money quick, and then they're like, it's like Yeah, what you expect. Anyways.
People love a villain, man.
All right, Malazan, 430 pages, book 8, awesome. You know, it's Malazan. I don't really need to go on a rant on this one. There actually one cool thing that has happened is you kind of just get the backstory to the Tistandi. Like you're getting a lot of that finally, and then you get like to meet the elder god that's been imprisoned in dragon's blood in a warren inside of dragon's blood. You know, he makes the Azath houses that appear in the world. That's a hard concept to understand, but it's cool. And then outside of that, of course, Yakuza, but I picked up RuneScape again. I've been playing it this entire time, actually, and on Classic RuneScape, and I love it, man. It's like, I don't know what it was that started it. I think it was, I saw a game called the Black Grimoire Soul Take. I can't remember the name, but it's like single-player RuneScape, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just try out RuneScape. And it clicked, and I was like, all right, I'm back, you know? Did you miss me and like everything in my life? The answer was no, but that's
So you did not miss RuneScape, gotcha.
No, I love it, man. I missed it. It's I've tried to go back several times. I tried it on RuneScape 3, and I ended up just playing the stock market on the Grand Exchange. But on this one, it's I guess the gameplay and everything clicked because I hate MMOs. There, I said it. Even Final Fantasy 14, because I don't want to get back to the good times, because I had another like 20 hours before that. I'm not going to do that to myself. But this game, like late game, feels more like an MMO, whereas the early game, it feels so much like a multiplayer CRPG where you're creating your own path, you know. And I love that. I know a lot of people hate it, but I love RuneScape. But let's see, outside of that, just doing good with photo gigs, trying to build up more on that. And then self-help, personal things, just moving along, doing very good. Today, you guys got to bear witness to it's my second ever panic attack, and that was interesting. But we learned the result of it, or the reason. It's caffeine. Like literally, I can't enjoy too much caffeine anymore. If it goes over a certain limit, it'll just pop it up. So it's like, all right, I know what to do. So yeah, that's about it for my week. Weeks, man. I haven't been on in a while. Oh, there you go. Movie talk. All Quiet on the Western Front. The new one, phenomenal. I haven't seen the original. I need to, but I guess I'll wait till Pele gets back because I just heard him walk away. But
I did not leave.
Oh, who shut their door?
Not me.
Monty?
Yeah.
Did you shut a door?
Yes. Yes, I did. Just
why didn't you say so? I asked and you go.
I didn't walk away, but I just shut a door.
What? Anyways, so All Quiet on the Western Front, if you guys haven't seen it yet, phenomenal. The sound design, I hated it at first. It grows on you, and then you get into it. There's like, it's almost like a horror movie's soundtrack. So it's not like a war movie and like epic strings. It starts out like this ambient noise, just like droning. Yeah, and then it goes like, and you're like, what the fuck is that? And then it's just is hell. It is war. It is World War I. And you really get to see in the trenches why things were so bad. And, you know, the direction on it was amazing. The acting in it is superb. The cinematography on it is just ethereal, man. There was times when I was watching, I would pause it, and I was like, holy crap. And the movie is so bleak when I ended it. And here's a little funny thing, right? I don't mean to, I think it's just funny that this happened because of this dang movie, right? Like, you guys know I don't want to say religious. I'm Christian, right? I don't like to say religious. I'm not really doing it for the religion. But anyways, the movie ends, it's super bleak, and I just ended up, I kind of like sat there, and I just looked up at the sky. I was outside with my dog, and I go, all right, God, I can see defeat. You do whatever, because I don't want to live like that. Like, it was like this like profound moment of like, whoa, bro. It's such a good movie, and it's powerful, like anti-war statement, and how like meaningless it is with death. And then it's a powerful statement as to like how, honestly, I think it's a good argument for like when you're young, like you're not ready to make these decisions, like certain decisions. And we've had talks about certain things that we, you know, would rather people make those decisions when they're older, which I won't utter here. But you know what I mean? It's a profound like sense of like you should not make these decisions as a kid because you're going to reap what you sow. And you have all these like young German kids, they go off to war, they're like bright-eyed, like we're serving the country and the motherland, and then they're fighting in a war they have no control over. They don't want to be there, there's no point in them being there, but everybody around them is being brutalized and destroyed. And then you get to see, of course, how bad trench warfare is, and trench warfare is
it's pretty rough,
dumbest. It's literally so you had like like they treated everything like it was 1800s cannons, but they had machine guns, they dug trenches, they didn't think to just like
they
dig
had gas
in.
bombs,
They didn't think of
mortars,
tactics. Like in the movie it shows like the German dudes would like run across open fields into machine gun fire, into French tanks, shouting, letting them know, hey, we're on our way. And then they get mowed down and they're supposed to just by sheer force take over the bunker or the whatever, and it's like
other side of trench, yeah.
I mean, it's rough, and the movie does this like just amazing job of putting you in that, man. I haven't felt like that tense watching a movie in a long time, and I have, I've talked to you guys about how I haven't watched movies in a while. I kind of just got out of it, even though it's what I want to do. And finally being back in it, man, it was unreal. I love that movie. I want to get it on Blu-ray when it comes out. They might even just do a Criterion version. I don't know. It was that good. But
I believe the original version is also available on Criterion, I believe.
If it is, speaking of, I know eventually I'm going to get that again, Pele, and I'll share that email or the login with you. Criterion, you didn't hear that. It's legal. Anyways, yeah, no, I can't praise the movie enough. It was that good. And it's surprising too. I don't know how close it is to the original.
It's not that. It's actually quite different in terms of story beats, especially how it ends. It's not the same, but it still delivers the same message.
Did you watch it?
The new one, yeah.
Oh, you did, dude. Let's not spoil it, but that ending, I was like, no, like it just that right there, without spoiling anything, I think we can both agree it was just no. You know what I mean? Like you knew it was coming, but it's like, fuck, man, war, And it's like, oh god, it's a tense movie. You can cut the tension with a knife, man. But that's my week, Amani.
All right, so I'm pretty sure I don't have much either. We already talked extensively about Resident Evil 4 Remake because that's the main game I've been playing. So I'll talk about, I guess, the Hangman. It's Hangman's Gate. It's the second book in the Archerion, War of the Archerion series. It's kind of good. I'm not gonna lie. So here's the thing: the way this one works is that there is the series works is that there are gods and there are humans, and at one point we used to worship the gods. There was a big war. They locked themselves away in what we'll call it heaven for basically understanding, right? And basically they were forbidden from interacting with mortals, but the deal is that mortals, when they worship them, when they do certain things, it gives those gods powers. So they're forbidden from going back for a long period of time. They haven't been back. They've known peace for a long period of time on both ends. Humans not so much, because we're humans. Gods have been like, we're just not destroying everything half the time and fighting each other, so I guess it's all right. One chick and her one of her servants are like, hey, look, I want to be worshipped again. F the mortals. They belong underneath us. Why are we hiding? So she goes about her way and breaks down there. Elena is her name. She breaks down there and takes her homie with her. Another goddess figures this out and is like, hey, yo, that's against the rules. I'm gonna stop you. Goes to stop them, kind of messes up and ends up going down there with them. So here's some fun stuff about it. When gods enter our world, they do not enter in their own body. They enter through someone's body, and that body burns and is destroyed and recreated as that god, just in a human form. But and you also have to look for a suitable host, is the deal. So when Sif does it, our main hero or heroine, god, she doesn't have a proper host she's supposed to be attached to because she's just trying to stop them and it's an accident. So she ends up taking what was supposed to be Elena's host, right? And that host, she ends up getting them and then becomes it wipes away all of their memories, but she doesn't really remember why she's there either because they weren't compatible, essentially. So she's there and she's like, I have a purpose, I have these powers, but I don't know why. And that's basically the entire, it's not the entire book, but it's the setup for the first book, which is Demon in Silver, right? And the idea is that the other two are on the earth somewhere, up to no good.
Sorry to get in trouble. I'm sorry.
So the first book,
I'm so sorry.
The first book pretty much deals with her attempting to send back Elena back the first time, but it kind of fails, right? The second book is more so dealing with the idea that like she had brought another dude along with her, whose name escapes me right now. I remember it started with an A. It was like Arga something, but like. He's down here and has been making, like, he didn't have to worry about everything that happened in the first book. So he's like, so because I, like, kind of ended up somewhere else and didn't have to worry about being, like, stopped and delayed and all this other crap, I was over here. I started my army in this other country. I'm coming. It's
lit!
I'm pulling through. And the entire book takes place with the idea of, like, there is this encroaching army that worships this god amongst men, essentially, and he is brutal, efficient, and is kind of an unstoppable force, essentially. And we spend most of the book following two new characters, 1.5 new characters that I won't spoil, but like and then one of our old characters, Justin Cade, who is going through it. Right, like basically the results of the last book pretty much put him in a situation where it's like I have to go back home knowing I failed, and because he's going back home, he's now going through like a bunch of stuff where at some point he's a pirate and then like he's being arrested and like it's weird. He's not having a good time headed back home, but ultimately it is we focus on the last battlement before they properly enter the country and can lay siege to like the rest of the Sudafel, this country that most of the book takes place in. And this battlement is sitting there and they're like, hey, look, they get approached by like this rogue splinter group of the enemy's like army that comes to them and is like, hey, look, so here's the deal. Homie's fucked up. We left. 41 of us was like, nah, we out. We bouncing. But he's on his way. So, like, whatever you do, go get help. Like, send someone. You need backup. Like, this battlement is not going to be strong enough. You guys have nothing but, like, recruits and old men here. No one is properly ready for, like, an army that is coming. Right? But it is an army, and it's a pretty big one, and it's by the dude that, like, will wipe you all out if you are not ready. He's like, so, like, and if he gets through this gate, because this is the last gate, he already busted through the other 3. If he gets through this one, we're done. Like, you're all screwed. And so they're like, all right. We're gonna send 2 people to go, like, essentially warn the rest of the kingdom and get our armies come back, right? So they send Zatenka and I believe his name is Ermin, right? So Zatenka and Ermin. One is an old man. Ermin's like an old man that's like, I've seen it before. He's not old, but like he's like 40s, right? He's like, I've lived life, right? At this point in a fantasy setting. I'm in my 40s. And Zatenka, who is basically a rookie, and he's like, I don't even know why I'm being dragged along on this, but I'm gonna do my best because I want to have glory and stuff like that. He's not ready for anything that's about to pop off, but he wants to have glory and stuff like that. Best way I can describe how this one is written, it is more vulgar in comparison to the other works I've read by like Brandon Sanderson and stuff like that, and here and there with Benty and stuff like that. It is a far more vulgar story, and that's just how it's written. Like it is more brutal with its descriptions of violence. For instance, like just in general, they curse more. which is not a bad thing. It's just they just curse more, right? It's I'm saying this because it's like just when you were reading it, it is initially for me it was jarring. There's nothing wrong with cursing in any other form of media. I have no problem with it, but it's just you go to read it and go like, yeah, okay, they're really like this is just happening, right? It's I will warn. I mean, we're an explicit podcast anyway, so it's like I'll warn those that might be a little bit under the age. It is more explicit with certain acts that it takes. It is violence will sometimes just happen for the sake of violence. There sometimes isn't a reason, and that's how they approach the world in some instances. Okay. Where it's like sometimes things just happen. There's actually a death in this that I actually kind of just don't agree with because I'm like, wow, okay, like that character just died, and I'm like, I don't even know why they needed to die here. Like they didn't. Like it's weird because it hits me in a weird way. It's like I'm not even upset that they died, right? Like the death isn't saddening to me. Like the rest of the characters do take it in that way, and you feel that part. But I'm looking at it going like what a weird time to die. Like I mean, like it's a war. Like that's what's coming to them, right? There's a battle coming, and obviously in this book they deal with that. But it's like it is so. I guess the best way to describe it is like in a way unceremonious. Like it's unceremonious in a how like what takes them out.
Yeah.
That it's like really right now, right here. Like this is how it happens. Okay. It was like we're doing it here. But that's how a lot of the story kind of is, where it's just like sometimes stuff just happens. So it's like you respect it for that, but at the same time, it's just kind of like it's one of those things where it's like, that's unfortunate. Like, yeah. Sometimes it doesn't hit as hard, but like it can if you're really into it. Sometimes stuff will just hit you where it's like, damn, that's rough. That's rough, buddy. Like, all right. This book actually. Surprising amount of time doesn't actually talk about Sif/Silver, who is our main like heroine in this much at all. Genuinely, like much at all. Like she doesn't appear being honest until like the later half of the book where it's time to actually put some work in, and it's like, you know what? Fine. There's plenty like a lot of the characters we follow in this one is genuinely kind of interesting. Like Zatanka and Ermin are the driving force of this story. In this book in particular, yeah. So it's fun. Justin is obviously also going through his own stuff. He carries a decent chunk of the plot. In fact, I'm pretty sure we're going to be following him throughout. Actually, I'm confident we're going to be following him throughout all 3 books. I have to check. I think there's only 3, but there might be a 4th one. I have to go check to see where the series is. But as far as the 3rd one is considered, looking forward to getting over to that one. But like Justin Cade, for instance, is just one of those characters. Like he was in the 1st one, he was fun. He was a mercenary doing his thing. He's like, you know what? I learned responsibility. We're gonna go keep my word. I'm gonna be a man of my word. Only to find out he's not allowed to be a man of his word. And now in this book, he's like, I just want a recompense in some way. Like initially he's like, I just want to live my life. This sucks. He's not allowed to, so he's like, all right, what do I have to do? What do I have to do? What do I have to do to be okay with everything that's happening to me? So far, probably one of my favorite characters in the series. We deal with a lot of like magic and stuff like that that's starting to crop up. So humans in this book are starting to get the ability of magic now. Again, it seems to be something that's resurfacing with the advent of the gods coming back in some way. And the rest of the gods chilling in heaven, quote unquote, are like watching with eyes peeled, essentially. They're like, hey, look, if Sif don't win, we gonna come through. We all gonna come through. And he's like, because they're like, basically it's like, if she's not punished for it, I guess that means the ban's lifted. we can come back. Like, it's the funniest situation I think I've ever seen. It's like everyone is squatted up just being like, we just gonna wait to see if anything happens to her. If nothing happens, we'll start a war again. Why not? we were enjoying our peace. We'll just come through. We'll run it again. run the entire Mortal Realms fade again, just because he was like, we'll just wait.
Hashtag once more.
Pretty much. It's genuinely one of those situations where you're looking at it being like, yeah, it's the best way I can describe it is like there's the default ramifications of, hey, bad person wants to do bad thing that's gonna conquer the world kind of thing, right? And it's like, okay, cool, that's bad. It's like, but the ramifications for not stopping them from conquering the world is not even the fact that it's like, oh yeah, they conquered the world. It's like, no, the ramifications for not stopping them from conquering the world is, oh, so then the rest of the problems get to come through and then start a super war for the world. Amazing. It's essentially like it's like the problem is the rapture will happen. Like that's the result. It's like, don't stop them. All right, we have worse things that'll happen. It's gonna suck for everyone involved. Her conquering everyone is the least of everyone's worries. But definitely checked out Hangman's Gate. Check out the Archon series. Or Archon series. It's spelled A.
I think it's Archon, yeah, if it's the CHON.
Yeah.
Archon.
It's just weird because I've heard it pronounced differently every time I've tried to
potato fuck them.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know what the hell am I supposed to say this.
Say what you will, bitch.
Yeah, when I originally read it, I was like, Archon, correct. And then like I heard someone say it, I'm like, am I saying it wrong?
If it helps, Malazan is also like pronounced by Erickson as Malazan, but they're like, oh, that's okay. And then somebody else said, instead of Darujistan, they said Darujistan, and I was like,
he was like, I might be messing up, but I'll take it.
Or Kruppa is Kruppa, not Krupp, as everybody thinks. But anyways, yeah.
All right.
Oh fuck!
But
I gotta stop.
That's it for that.
I'm working on that.
Man, fine. That's it for the Hangman's Gate. I was checking out another demo earlier. We were playing. Okay, so there was a game that we had talked about a while back.
Mm-hmm.
We now have, well, its English title, which is what is it? Rise of Rebellion.
That one, yeah.
Yes, which is its English title because before it was just in Japanese whenever we saw it, but it was cool, and it was the night game that had really cool, engrossing combat with a zoomed-in camera, and it was kind of looked like a mix of Dark Souls meets, or maybe like Bloodborne because of how fast you are. It's a bit more like
yeah.
But it meets
Dark Souls aesthetic though. It's like the dark gothic.
Dark Souls aesthetic with like the speed of Bloodborne and the mechanics seemingly of something like For Honor.
Right.
And now that I've gotten a chance to play it, that game's interesting. So you can go find it on Steam and play the demo, so you can give it a shot. Try out the combat, because basically it's like a huge tutorial pretty much showing you. Game so far, from what I can tell, is focusing on one-on-one combat against multiple opponents as you continue. Very much in the style of like Infinity Blade with the level layout, where you get to kind of choose your path, do whatever you want, but you'll be usually fighting in one arena against one dude. At most, I can see them probably the max, if they decide to do that, the max I could see you fighting is 3 people at once.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, the way the combat works, I can see you being very, very quickly overwhelmed by anything more than 3 people. Mm-hmm. The moment you, like, 3 would be a challenge on itself. But it's super fun, very tight. Some of the things about it are a little finicky, but like we said, the game's not due until he actually has it on the thing, 2025. So plenty of time to like kind of smoothen some stuff out, make it a little smoother. But otherwise, it feels really good. I think my biggest gripe was that blocking it's just sometimes not very responsive.
Okay.
In general. But everything else, like attacking, feels really nicely. The way it works is you're supposed to mix up the type of slashes you do, much like For Honor, where you are using the left stick actually instead of the right stick to navigate your swings when you do it. So if you press attack and press up, you'll do a different swing from then doing a neutral one or a left or right or down, which are different slashes, right? And then if you hold, you'll get a heavy, and you can do the same thing with the directionals with that. It has a really fun subsystem, which is tricky to get a hand of. Like, I'll admit, there's a subsystem going on here, which is your magic stuff, which is known as compass, or I think it's compress. Or I have to check again for the name. But what is basically
COMPRESS compress,
yeah. But what it's basically doing is that the game uses it in the form of like earth/ice when it's being used, but it is easier to explain it in a way of when you use specials and certain attacks like your arrows, you gain what is essentially a heat meter, and as that goes up, you get to a chance of overheating and causing you to basically explode, right? So what happens is while you're doing like certain moves, you have to then take your sword, stick it into the ground, and that'll cool you down essentially. But these compass moves or compress moves will allow you to do like crazier stuff.
Right.
So you'll do like a crazy super swing that like knocks the enemy down, and then like you can run up to them and stab or whatever like that. Do all this fun stuff that's like it'll break guards and stuff like that. But if you're doing them in rapid succession or just in any form of like succession without giving yourself enough of a cooldown, just you'll basically explode. It'll cause a giant ice pillar to pop up. It knocks you up, and you are put into like a stun position, and it does damage to you. And then your enemy can run up and just beat the crap out of you. But it is supposed to be this really interesting balance because there's no stamina. So I guess this is their way of having a form of stamina system, which is just this overheating mechanic, which takes some time to get used to because the idea is you can stab them to the ground, and if you are overheating, you can stab them to the ground, and like basically the way the mechanic works is like once you hit a certain limit or a certain threshold, you are going to explode, but you can focus that explosion onto your sword essentially. And so if you stab it in the ground and then get away from it, it'll still go off in the area that the sword is left in. So you could do, and this is where the crazy stuff happens, you can use your explosion to attack. Like you could plot it out. You can do like a thing where you're like, I'm going to do like 3 compass moves, stab into the ground, leave the thing there, dash away, and then it'll all flow into each other, right? And it'll pop up, like you'll hit them with the big explosion from the thing. You could summon your sword back to you, and then you can get right back into the fight in however you see it. It's really fun. Like genuinely, as I'm explaining, it's a lot going on. But once you start to like figure it out, and once you get in the game and start figuring it out, it kind of just makes sense after a while. You just got to get used to it.
Yeah.
The feeling versus,
Yeah. One of the things is that like you can deflect in this game. The idea of deflecting in this is just like it's just like Dishonored, not Dishonored, For Honor, where you want to match the direction that they're swinging in to deflect properly. If you do it, you'll knock them, you open them up, and you get to attack back. Same thing with dodging though. They actually treat it the exact same way with dodging. And dodging is a little weird in this game because of that. They want you to dodge into enemy attacks and move according to them so that you could slip past. Because I find that like dodging doesn't seem to have invincibility. From what I could tell, it doesn't seem to have any form of invincibility unless you are dodging in the direction of an attack. Which, when you do it, it's less of you kind of just like passing through the attack and more of you sliding under the attack. Like the game is really like showing you go around it and swoop around the character. It's like really interesting with how it does it. But you are in like if you try to like dodge back or like move in a different direction, seemingly I just seemed like every time I tried to do that I would just get hit. Honestly, which it's a little weird. I think that might be something they might want to look into or work on a little bit. I think it is cool to have the ability to just dodge into attacks with perfect timing. It's really good. But I find that there's no good,
Excuse me.
There's no real, you can block in the game, but there's no real good option for getting out of an attack that doesn't involve perfect timing. There's nothing wrong with perfect timing, but I feel like perfect timing is one of those things where it's like, you should be rewarded for doing it, but if you are incapable of doing it, you shouldn't be punished unless you know, like it's like you're trying like a parry, like if you're going for a deflect or a parry, right?
Yeah.
I can understand like that being a thing, being like, yeah, no, you have to parry, so like, you know, that's an aggressive move that is putting you in a vulnerable situation to do it. Something like dodging should always kind of be like, you know, it's meant to keep you out of danger when there's like no tool to keep you out of danger when you just aren't able to do certain things. So if you're like having a difficult time learning someone's attack pattern, there's no way to get out in that kind of way. You either have to very much just learn it or don't. So like, for instance, in Sekiro, you have the ability to dodge out of the way. It's a good dodge, but like they want you to learn parrying so that you can like break stamina, right? But there's a difference. Like the parry is generous because you need to do it, right? You have to do it in order to get through that game. He's like, but when it comes to dodging and stuff, it's just something that allows you to like not take damage and still learn without like suffering instant consequence. You know what I mean? And the game just like kind of lacks that a little bit, and I think it kind of just with time we'll see, because the demo is out right now. This is just for research purposes, pretty much for the game. So by all means, go check it out. I think it's fun. It's really worth a shot just messing around with it. It's one of those games where once you get into the flow of it, you're like, this is fun.
Yeah.
But that's that. I don't think I have anything else besides those two. Because like we said, we talked about RE Remake, and that's the other thing I've been mainly playing the whole time. So let's get into the docket. What are we looking at this time on the docket, guys?
Do you want to start with the big one?
Yeah, we'll just pick out some stuff.
Zelda.
We'll probably do go for it.
So Zelda looks, I think, phenomenal. Like, I never played Breath of the Wild, but this one looks, you know, really good. It's like an extension of Breath of the Wild. You get to like combine weapons, and then there's like extra with the crafting this time, and so it's like a new and improved sandbox of what was already a very big sandbox game. And I was telling Amani, like, I noticed in the gameplay, not only is there, you know, dynamic resolution, which definitely the Switch needs, but you can kind of start to see the Switch's age. And I'm not a graphics whore, guys. I'm playing RuneScape 2009. Come on, you know, like, I am not too big a graphics guy, but it's like the foliage in the game is dense, and then as it fluctuates, you can really see the jagged edges, so it looks like a mass of like spiky blocks. And it's like either Nintendo needs to actually make an upgrade, or they could have even been playing it, you know, undocked or handheld and showing off, hey, look, we're getting 60 frames undocked. So, you know, I don't know. But either way, it looks phenomenal. It looks like more Zelda, and it makes me actually want to one day get a Switch so I can play both of them.
I feel that. One I want to mention is, I actually want to mention Cry Machina, because of how weird it is. Basically, actually, I couldn't even tell you what this is. I'm assuming it's robots. I'm really going on the basis that this is robots, and
music's great.
and we're talking about the human experience is what I got from this, because I'm gonna be real, the quotes in this trailer are type stupid. I wanted more information on like the gameplay, and it looks character actiony, but I can't piece together quite enough. But I'm looking forward to it because I actually played, I believe I own the prequel to this, not the prequel, but like the game before this one, which is Crystar, which was really interesting to me. That one was like an RPG, and this one is similar. It's like an action RPG originally. This one I'm assuming is very similar in that vein, but this one looks like it has way more mechanical, existential, like themes going on. It's super anime, don't get me wrong, but like it also just kind of looks fun from what I can tell. It's something that I'm like interested in, just to kind of learn more about, just in general.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, like I said, if you're reading these quotes some of these quotes are like, fucking what? What are you saying? This is anime shit. Like, I don't know what's going on. but all of them have to do with
a
humans.
robot can't feel sorry for me or something like that. It's like, yeah.
But it's type stupid, but it looks cool. I want to check it out. I want to give it a shot. It looks like I said, like a character action game, so it's already up my alley off rip. I just want to see if it plays well. So I'll give that a shot whenever that comes around, because I think we got till fall. It's fall.
Yeah.
So it's a bit away.
What about you, Pele? What you got?
What I got on the list, I want to talk about. Let's see here. Dredge. Dredge looks cool. So,
Yes.
Dredge is a fishing management sim, business sim-ish, like fishing game where you go through these massive sections of open sea and locations, fishing for more and more as essentially eldritch-looking creatures as it advances. It looks very calmish in a lot of aspects until you get to more sinister side of things, but it looks like a lot of management sims, inventory system. You as more fish you catch, you kind of arrange them in a like an essentially attaché case, Resident Evil 4 style
Yeah,
system.
that's like fun.
Yeah, it looks fun. It's definitely up my alley of things I just want to give a shot. I love Lovecraft's things for it. Story wise, I don't have a whole detail of what it is, though I do notice there's like a lot of characters involved with it. So definitely story central driven, probably investigating a mystery of some sort as it goes through.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it does have a very mysterious vibe, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
But speaking of mysteries, since it's also April Fool's Day, surprisingly enough, Sega dropped a funny thing for us this day as well. The murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, a murder mystery visual novel game of the cast of Sonic the Hedgehog trying to figure out who killed Sonic.
Yeah. It's a real game. That's the crazy part about it. We could play it. I actually downloaded it. I wanted to get to it, but I didn't get a chance to get around to it just quite yet.
It's very strange.
I'm hoping it's good because it looks like they're trying to do something fun.
It's definitely a drastic change for Sonic the Hedgehog, like, not gonna lie, but still, like, okay. I wonder if, like, since I know this was designed as a joke, if this does well enough, do you think they're just gonna keep going with shit like this?
I'll be real. If this does well enough, I would totally pay for a Detective Sonic series. Which is weird to say, because like the Detective Pikachu stuff is a thing, and like all that. If you wanted to,
we had a really good version of Sonic in the Dark Chronicles on DS. Remember that day?
Oh no, that was an RPG.
That was an RPG, but that was dope.
I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. The music, not so much. It's the only time it wasn't a banger, but there are actual reasons for that, so it's kind of unfortunate. Apparently, they had really good tracks in there, but they, due to some unfortunate last minute weirdness, they had to remake the entire soundtrack within like 2 days.
Jeez. What?
Yeah.
Back up your files, guys.
So it's like, you know what? Probably has some bangers, but unfortunately won't be able to hear them because we had to pull all the other ones and remake it
in a very short amount of time.
Extremely short amount of time. I'm like, good job though. Kudos to them for even getting out with the soundtrack that they have. I won't even bother calling it bad. Because it's like, you had very little time. You did what you could. The fact that it came out with a soundtrack at all is phenomenal.
I respect that.
But yes, I actually did want to mention this one too. So, but that's perfect. I guess I'll mention. Honestly, I think I'll mention Grand Blue. No. Well, obviously, I'll just quickly say, yeah, Grand Blue has another character called Siegfried. Homie looked dope. But the one I really wanted to mention was E3 is canceled again.
Mm-hmm.
We're not getting it this time.
So we suspected that E3 was going to be fully canceled when we heard the official announcement that all the big three weren't even coming up. I think the final nail in the coffin for this announcement was shortly after Ubisoft decided to pull out. And I'm just thinking, like, the entire time, like, wow, even big publishers are not even for the full console part are not even wanting to be involved with this. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, it's really weird. Me and you probably had a discussion about this earlier, but we find it weird that like publishers are backing out, like things like EA and Ubisoft, because like now that it's open to the public, it's actually a really good space to get like, you know, just letting people get behind and play other stuff, right? You get to see stuff. You still get to announce things if you're like a publisher, and I still think like the indie scene would do a really good job here in general, just having like just a play area essentially. Just allowing people to test out stuff, get their hands on things. Honestly, it's weird that it's getting canceled just mainly because the big three aren't there. Because we also talked about this. I'm not watching a Ubisoft Direct. I'll watch Nintendo, a PlayStation, or an Xbox. Yeah, like that makes sense. But it's like Ubisoft's like, we're doing our own stream to announce something. Like, I don't care. It's gonna be one of the 4 games you always announce. Like, why would I tune into this?
For any hardcore Ubisoft fans, we're not sorry.
We're not sorry. Do better. You deserve better.
But yeah, it's just really odd for that. But I think the main reason why the big three took a lot of drama because they are the ones who really take big stage. Because remember, at every usually E3 nowadays, the Game Awards and a few other direct showcase, you want to know the next big announcement that's going to draw people's eye, be it a full-on console reveal, a collaboration reveal, or the announcement of a brand new game that's going to blow everyone out of the fucking water. Or in this case, if Capcom becomes ballsy, if they choose to be part of E3, maybe Mega Man Legends 3.
Yay.
Very true.
So nice. So very nice.
But at the very moment, though, it is officially canceled. We're not sure it's going to be fully canceled moving forward, but it is a shame because I've been wanting to go to E3 ever since I was a kid.
Same. And they just keep canceling it anytime I actually get the chance to maybe do that.
It is a mix of, I think just bad timing because it was E3 was going public shortly before the pandemic hit, and then everything just came around and just kind of blew things way out of proportion.
Nintendo, Microsoft, and PlayStation learned that they didn't have to go there to get attractions, and then I really don't know why Ubisoft isn't there. I guess they just don't have anything to show. That's my guess. Because Skull and Bones still isn't done.
Mirage got delayed, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Mirage got delayed. Skull and Bones got delayed for the 7th fucking time. Let's see. We still have yet to hear anything about the longest developed game in-house at this moment, which is Beyond Good and Evil 2.
That game is not... That game doesn't exist, as far as I'm concerned. It was never real.
I'm calling it now, too, Perfect Dark. The new one.
Perfect Dark.
Right. They were supposed to be making
the conglomerate or whatever company.
Mm-hmm.
That's not real. They're not coming out with that.
Yeah, no, that was probably just fake news.
Temper your expectations.
I hope Perfect Dark comes out, though. Because Perfect Dark, at the very least, the least heard about it. Least problems in general heard about it. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where it's maybe they're just silent about it. But
it could be they realize they need more time or something.
Wait, didn't the head of the studio get arrested or something for the one that's making Beyond Good and Evil? Something crazy just recently happened with them, if I'm not mistaken.
I can't remember. I don't care enough. I haven't looked into it.
I'm either that or they're being investigated immediately for some heinous stuff, relatively heinous stuff, corporate heinous stuff.
Delays, faces more shakeups, according studio director reportedly out at Ubisoft about a month back due to a government labor investigation.
Yeah!
Chill.
Apparently they're getting there's labor investigation going on because of the fact that despite this game very obviously not being anywhere near close to being done at all, the people are being overworked.
Yeah, overworked with massive burnout and going on sick leave. Yeah.
And I'm this game is not even close. You guys have been working on it for so long. How? How?
If the game ever comes out, I would love to see a report detail what's the fuck's been going on with it, and I want to know at this point how many times have restarted development on this fucking game.
Oh, they've had to restart development multiple times at this point, but it's just the idea of you overworking your people only to throw out everything they made every 2 to 3 months. I'm why are we even overworking them then?
Also, I like Beyond Good and Evil. I do enjoy it. I do think it's considered a bit of a cult classic, but let's be perfectly honest, you didn't need to go this bombastic with it.
It didn't. Yeah, it didn't need to be that bombastic. The fact that it's not even a proper sequel to the last game is also kind of weird. Anyway, it's like a prequel.
It's a mix. Like originally, it was supposed to be designed as a sequel. Then we saw the original full-on first like any gameplay, anything trailer, and it's like they reset it as a prequel-ish. I think. Yeah. I don't exactly know.
No, it got reset as a prequel / like a reboot retelling, and I'm like, why are you doing it like this? Like just. The only thing people want is a sequel to the game you made before. That's it. That's it. Just do that again, but in like modern day, and like clean it up a little bit. That's about it. Right?
Yeah, but Amani, this game has at this point in terms of development cycle has beaten out Duke Nukem Forever. So
that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's by far the longest developed game outside of fucking Star Citizen. We're not getting into that one.
Oh, Star Citizen's like
it's not
technically
a
scam.
Yeah,
technically a scam. Like it's weird to say that it's a scam because the game is still being developed. They're getting these huge updates, but it's like technically a scam because it's never going to be done.
At least
speaking
Star
of the new
Citizen,
updates, it broke the game. The most recent one.
Yeah, I heard about that.
That sucks.
Go ahead, Taylor. My bad.
I was gonna say, like, at least the Star Citizen people are actually able to play it, versus we don't know the fuck's going on with Beyond Good and Evil 2.
The Star Citizen people are they're forever playing a beta, quote unquote. But like. Yeah. At least they get to touch it, right? So.
In terms of finance, this game, Star Citizen, has made over $500 million in terms of funding. Jeez. And the game's still not out yet. What the fuck are they doing?
I mean, well, like, it started out as, it was what, like a space exploration game with, I think it was, like, mainly, like, the focus on the ships and the combat, and it was, like, a solar system. And then they got into procedural generation. And so now it's like planet dropping, first-person shooting, a first-person shooter, single player, a ton more modes, a ton more ships. Like it just like it kept growing, which I think if it ever does drop, that's cool. You know, it's been in beta so long. They are like if you like read the reviews on it in this state, it's still pretty damn good. But you know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It's a strange kind of game, but I think it'll be the first of its kind where it's like a crowdfunded game people got to see from inception to the end, and it's one of those ones where it's like so big that like games haven't ever been made like this. You know,
I mean that's cool.
It's going to be better than Starfield. it's what Starfield wants to be. There you go.
Yeah, honestly,
it's gonna be cool with the engine, but right now that game has overcasted every single game's development budget ever, and like it's still not out. Like. I like to know exactly what their final plan for this is.
Yeah.
If they have an idea.
Honestly, I wonder if they're in the final... Like, here, I'll go to the website right now. So, I'll do... fucking shit. Hold on. There. Frickin' crap. There, I'm going to start... That's my goal for this year. So far, it's so good. Is quitting the... All right, so Star Citizen roadmap. Let's see what we got. Why not? We've got our listeners. They might want to know about this. So, Robert Space Industries, the roadmap, progress track. I'd shut up. All right. What is this? What does it mean? Deliverables.
What?
Hold on.
In the meantime, we should. We'll find another. So what's another one? Yeah, while you try to find this.
Yep.
So what's another one you want to mention?
Yeah. I'm really excited for more Tekken 8 details for it because we got both the gameplay reveal trailer of Ling Xiaoyu and Jun Kazuma, which I haven't seen since fucking Tekken 2.
Aren't you excited?
We get to finally see Jin's mom and Kazuya's lover. Can't wait to see her kick her husband's ass.
Guys.
She's in Tag, right? Yes.
She's in Tag, yeah.
Let me get you with some of this, okay? Just to give you an idea. Boy. So far, through September of this year, they have EUPU gameplay feature team. So let's just click on Laser Trip Mine. No, not that one. It'd be Loot Generation TI. Duration 20 weeks. Description: this system deals with the generation of lootable containers throughout the world. They have everything down to a T, mapped out all the way till September, and that's not including stuff that doesn't have anything right now. That's like, so it's like they're still building the game and adding more. Like, this is fucking asinine. It shows, or here you go, a vehicle feature team, 43 deliverables. They still have to put all these features in and fix them up. Chapter 27. Why is there that many chapters?
Yeah, $500 million in budget over I don't know how many years at this point. This has to be the most immersive, the most detailed game ever at this point.
It had better do well, you know.
I mean, it's already done well. It's earned $500 million.
Well, I mean, like money-wise, yeah, but I'm
it's
saying
never
as a
gonna
game,
actually stop. Like,
because it just that's the teams, that's the progress tracker. So, like, what is because that just shows
I
the
wonder if
deliverables.
the studio will put out like because this will be the interesting thing. If that studio ends up working and putting something else out in the time that it's still a beta, like this is still.
I'm gonna be pissed. I'll be pissed. No,
I can understand that. I can understand people being pissed, but at the same time, I'd also like to see what that team could do because they have more than enough money to just start another project if they wanted to.
But they're pouring everything and all their efforts into the one game. Like, as ambitious as that is, I like to know what their final end goal for this is because, like, you're taking the longest in unusually long amount of time to make a game, as well as the biggest.
So far, the single player experience, which is universe spanning, is like 20, like what I say, 27 chapters thus far, and that's not like I don't even know what the actual number is. So they're doing like I guess a giant single player campaign, but what like I think the multiplayer is where it's. I don't know if the single player is like actual like campaign chapters or like what is the.
I think they actually have a proper campaign in it.
And if it is
27
like,
chapters, holy shit!
That's the thing. So it's like the multiplayer is like,
like kind of like how it should kind of just do what Warframe is doing, pretty much. It should just go for that, honestly. But like, it's not. But
jeez,
it's interesting. It's genuinely one of those things where it's like this is interesting, but at the same time, it'll be an interesting case study by the time it's done.
No, because here's one of the common things I notice, at least on the indie developer side, where like they get excited, they make the game, but they always make it. Sometimes a lot of the problems they end up thinking like, oh, it's a neat mechanic, I want to add it to this game, but then it becomes too much work, so they have to scale back. Mm-hmm. This is the opposite effect where they have that still mindset, but almost
it has nothing
infinite,
but feature creep. Yeah,
but almost infinite money to support this. Like, this is going to be interesting.
It's like we have nothing but time and effort that we can put towards this game because we get paid.
We can rebuild him, but I don't want to spend much money.
I'm hoping it's not being built. I'm assuming it's not being built on crunch because it's just like you clock in, work on my game, we'll get it done when it's done. I guess
the game has been made in over 8 years, and man, like it can't be crunch.
It's just they can't be possibly doing crunch. There's also no reason for them to do crunch because it's like we could just take our time. Genuinely, that's kind of how they've been approaching it.
Yep.
Another one I want to mention is so we have Spider-Verse shorts that are apparently going to be coming out before. Yeah, until Spider-Verse actually drops.
That's pretty cool.
Can't
we
wait
have
to
some
see
of
those.
Miles, Gwen, Miguel, Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, and a few other Spideys, hopefully, and maybe some villains or two.
I want a short with Japanese Spider-Man. Give me one.
Maybe we'll get a short that's just pretty much showcase of what happened with the other Spider people, since they're more than because Spider-Man Noir is not
taking place in this game. And
this
movie. We're gonna be missing. I think we're gonna be missing Penny too. I would like a little cameo from Penny at the very least. Like Penny, we're probably not gonna see Spider-Ham
and Spider-Man Noir.
And Spider-Man Noir is played by Nicolas Cage, who is not in anything for this movie, from what we understand. So,
unfortunately, yeah, but still.
He was one of the best characters in that. It was like genuinely one of the funnier characters.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ton of detail with Spider-Man Noir that's like genuinely hilarious. Like for instance, him working on the Rubik's Cube, discovering color for the first time, being like, "What the hell?"
Because it goes to the world that's all black and white.
Like his journey on that is hilarious. Just looking at a Rubik's Cube, being like, "This thing is crazy, bro." What's one more that we could do? Because we have to get out of here.
So yes, I want Demon Spore. Looks really cool.
So Demon Spore for you?
Yeah, Demon Spore for me. Mm-hmm.
What we got on Demon Spore? What's the deal?
Demon Spore is a top-down preventative shooter. So you have essentially this like fungal or virus growth that's spreading out into your laboratory, and you need to find a way to stop it using weaponry, traps, equipment, all in this little section. So it's like a mix of puzzle shooter / twin stick shooter, stopping this virus from killing you and affecting the rest of the laboratory. Like, this is cool. I like this concept.
What about for you, Paul?
That might be it for me.
You know what? I'm gonna call Cap. I just remembered which one that you would actually take.
Which
World War
Which
III.
one? Oh yeah, World War III. Well, okay, so that one looks cool. That being said, I did see that it apparently is not that good according to the Steam reviews. But I mean, they're
you did some
mixed.
research.
Mhm.
They're mixed, which kind of sucks. However, I will say, based on the gameplay, I was excited because it looked like what Battlefield is supposed to be. It looks like they nailed the feel and the combat and everything, and so I do want to check it out, and I'll let you guys know. But
What seems to be the problem so far from the reviews?
I don't know. Let me go look it up. It said it on there. It was World War III, and it's free, so that's pretty cool. Free Battlefield, you know. Can I run it? I can run it. What was the problem? This is supposed to be the Battlefield killer. The only thing it's killing is itself. Well, that bodes well.
Oof.
Let's see. There was a bit confused, hype for. I purchased the game for $30 and played about 10 hours. Progress, waiting more updates. I guess there's like a version. Let's see. It goes free to play. What he didn't expect was all the work he puts in got wiped when it went. I don't care about that. Great graphics, good mechanics in game. However, it'd have been great if we could talk in game and ping. Okay, so they don't have that. Hugely under. Okay, I think a lot of the mixed reviews. It might come from the early backers, and all their progress got wiped when they switched over to free to play. Which I could see where that'd make you mad, but at the same time, like maybe it was an actual system error. I don't know. Either way, I'm gonna check it out, and I'll let you guys know.
One of the details I did quite like about it, though it still freaked me out a bit too, was all the maps were actually based off of real locations, and apparently, if you could visit them in real life, that's how it's supposed to look. Like, oh, that's cool. The fact you can shoot up in it makes me a little concerned, though.
Ah! Sorry, it's so loud. That trailer just rocked me to my core. Like it just out of nowhere. But yeah, it looks solid.
I guess I'll do like a little quick rapid fire thing of some things that I wanted to mention before heading out, which is Infinite Guitars out. We got the launch trailer. Go play the RPG / rhythm game. That is Infinite Guitars. You want to fight mechs with guitars? Sounds awesome, right? Go look at it. We have Skullgirls. Black Dahlia's out. She's fun. She's really cool. I did get the chance to mess around with her. She's a trap character. It's really dope. Reload mechanics with her grenade launcher. Next up, we're getting out of Skullgirls, like the season pass, is going to be the Skullgirl herself.
Oh, nice.
Actually, we're getting the boss version. We're getting a playable version of Maria. So that's going to be fun.
I love the visuals to that game.
Yeah, it looks awesome, right?
Yeah.
All hand drawn. Remember that.
All hand drawn.
What else did I need? Hyperlight Breakers. Sick. Still.
It looks good.
Looks amazing. Can't wait to play that. Actually, cannot wait to play that with friends, though. Like, for real. I'm looking forward to, like...
I like this. Yeah, I like to try that, too. Though, it looks great and everything, Amani, but just a concern I just have from, like, previous entries as well for other games. Not from, like, the Hyperlight series or anything like that. It looks a little too big for just walking around.
Well, there's other stuff. Like, you have hoverboards and stuff that you can jump on.
Okay, good. I didn't see the vehicles on that one, so, like, at least you're able to move quickly through.
There are ways of getting around. Basically, like, they have hoverboards that are basically like sparrows in Destiny. So, you could do that.
Yeah, I was just curious because, when I see something that big and I see only walking around, like, that sounds tedious.
You're like, I don't want to walk around like this. But, and then I think... Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy 16. Gotta mention that. That looks crazy. That trailer.
Oh yeah, the world.
It's gone. It's gone gold. It's gone gold.
It's gone gold. Let's go. I can't wait.
It's got what?
It's gone gold. I mean, it's finished before release.
It's been approved. It's ready for release. And I guess the last thing I'll mention is Carnage Reigns. Yeah, Carnage Reigns. Carnage is attacking Miles. That's the main deal. Carnage is a super problem now. For real. Anybody that's been keeping up with, like, that reads their Carnage lore, will know that my man's been amassing powers out here. So this little event that's happening where he's tracking down certain people and part of the reason he's probably tracking down Miles, considering, is probably to get his unique spider powers specifically.
Even though he technically already has enough spider powers.
Nah, but he doesn't have Miles' unique stuff. Like he has he doesn't have the camouflage or the
yeah. I mean, if Carnage wanted more powers, he could have just attacked Krakoa.
He could, but I think there's a specific reason why he has to steal it from certain people. Like he attacked people like the Spot. Also, like you don't go attacking Krakoa. I would be honest with you. Like anyone with some common sense, which apparently most of the Marvel Universe does not have. You don't go attacking the mutant.
I know, but it's also Carnage, who's he's insane. So like, it was like that's a feast of powers out there. Let me get her.
But like, yeah, he's stole the Spot's power, Hydro Man's power, and he's working on a couple other people right now. I think he stole some of the powers from like some Dark Elves.
Dark Elves, wow.
He's amassing some strength. So whatever it is he's about to bring to Miles' front door, I'm like, damn.
Good luck, Miles.
Yeah, like good luck, my boy. It's gonna be rough. But other than that, I think that's it for like a little rapid fire bit that I have. So without further ado, we're gonna bring this one to a close. But before that, what are we naming this episode, guys?
Reese Witherspoon's Golden Kitty. That's not. Oh God, I didn't mean it like that. I did not mean that. I meant like I thought of her like Legally Blonde, and I know she had the little dog, and I meant to say little golden dog, but it came out cat because I was like, oh, she would have a cat too,
Perfect.
Don't name it that. I didn't mean anything sexual by it. It was just
Bailey. What about your suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead, Bailey.
Let's see.
Reese Witherspoon's Golden Kitty. Gosh.
Love letters, Jennifer Hale.
Love letter to Jennifer Hale. I like that.
Appreciate that, yeah.
I was going to go with Batman Has No Chill, so we'll figure out which one.
I think I mentioned that earlier, the love letter to Jennifer Hale thing. Or I said something about it, but yeah.
I think I like that, though. Love letter to Jennifer Hale it is. All right. So, without further ado, guys, we're bringing this episode to a close. Thank you for
My name is Paul Basha, photographer, Instagram, Paul _ Basha.
Do your thing. Plug your stuff, say your thing.
Facebook Marketplace coming up soon. I was gonna do a website, but I'll be honest, I have to get domain, or I have to keep paying to UPick, and I don't know if I'm gonna keep paying for it per year because it's like $800. I got mine on a super deal. It's like $50. They give you that for the first year, but yeah. So Facebook Marketplace going up soon. My name is Paul Basha. If you look me up on Instagram, it's Paul _ Basha. If anybody needs photos, we can work some out. I'm in the Triad area of North Carolina. I can travel though, God knows, but y'all probably have to pay for that. Let's be honest. I'm a po boy, but yeah, no, that's pretty much it. If anybody's interested in my work, go to upick.com/ my phone. Can't remember my own username. You can see most of it on my Instagram. It's Paul _ Basha, but then the UPick is Paul Basha Jr. And I should pop up. You'll see my awesome pictures. I recommend do that in a web browser on either Instagram or on your desktop on UPick, because it just looks great. And then once it's on the Facebook Marketplace, you'll see some of my work there too. So yeah, just trying to make a living doing that. Quit my job. I don't have a job right now. I'm doing DoorDash. I want to make this a full-time thing while I support my film stuff. And speaking of film, if anybody needs any videography work, I do that stuff too. If you need a DP, director of photography / cinematographer, or even a director for your short film, hi, my name is Paul. I'd be happy. So reach out, to Paper Play Action. Reach out to me at Paul _ Basha, and let's get it cracking, man. I can do anything you throw me because I have all the gear. I have all the practice. Literally, I'm just ready to go. Been training for years. There you go. That's my shameless plug.
There you go. Besides that, you can also just go to paperplayaction@gmail.com if you have any questions for us. That is paperplayaction@gmail.com. If you have any questions, want to send anything else, say that. You can also hit us up on Koji if you would like to donate, or Patreon if you would like to donate there. What else?
Final thing. The Citadel poster is ripping off Tenet. There, I said it. Boom, that's it. I swear to God, look it up. You'll be like, wow.
That literally is the same thing.
It is the same thing. But
I'll do my plug when it becomes legal.
Well, I have so many questions on that one, but we'll leave it be.
I'm not gonna ask.
I'm not even gonna bother. You can also hit us up on Twitter. Follow us on there. We'll get a bunch of little updates as well as things that like update you guys on different games, little things like that. Paper_action on Twitter. That is paper_action. So also, yeah, just do that. That's fun.
YouTube.
Yes.
Our YouTube is up. We have videos going to it. Eventually, we'll have the socials will be current with clips and things like that, so you guys can, listen in if you need to. Say you're not prepared for a feature-length episode like we have. Little clips will be there too. They're just they're waiting on me. I'm a busy guy, oddly enough, for not having a freaking job.
It'd be like that. Finally, we appreciate you guys. You know that you do. So thank you for coming around. Thank you for listening to us. And more than anything else, just share the show. Talk to other people about it. Tell people about us so that you guys can have conversations about the conversations that we have. It'd be like that. So, without further ado, that is the end. Good night.
See ya.
Guys, have a good